Christian, and I have big tits. I'm a Buddhist, and I wear no clothes. I'm a pedo, and I think that shows. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing. I'm an alpha, I live with my dad. You're a sim pro, and I'm just a chat. I'm a black belt, you know what it is. And my carpet, it's all covered in jizz. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing. I'm an alpha, I live with my dad. You're a sim pro, and I'm just a chat. I'm a black belt, you know what it is. And my carpet is all covered in jizz. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing. Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
It's true. Sometimes I cry.
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. This is episode 1300. And what is it? 96. Amazing. You know, it's funny that you mentioned that. I was trying to get Hake to come on and watch the debate with us, but he was busy. I talked to him today. I woke up stupid early this morning and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I saw Jesse Lee Peterson was live streaming, so I was typing in the chat, and Hake is obviously a mod in that chat. And I was like, Hake, you should come on the stream tonight so we can all react to the debate. And he was like, I can't. Like, he tried to see if he could fit it in, but he's like, I can't.
Yeah, Hake is such an interesting guy.
Because he's like a friendly guy, but he's a hateful bigot at the same time.
He has a really big crush on me, too. It's really strange, but like, I mean, it's okay. I kind of have a crush on him, too. He's a virgin, so I figure I might help him out.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a minute. Fucking King Cobra, not a virgin. Jared Genesis, not a virgin. Find it hard to believe Hake is a virgin. I
know.
Yeah.
He's a handsome guy. There's no way he hasn't accidentally slipped into some puss. You know what I'm saying? Like, this just is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Hake be an awesome guest with Creamsicle? Oh, boy. Ooh.
Everyone, please like the stream, and we're going to watch the debate. In the past, we've had whole streams taken down, and we've gotten strikes. So we've learned that if we just react to the audio, we don't have to worry about that. So we're doing audio only. You don't need to see them anyway. We'll be describing to you what we're seeing here.
Right. I will very, very, very grotesquely describe Trump's neck pussy, his nussy, neckussy.
So 10 minutes until debate time. I'm watching ABC's live feed right now. 10 minutes, and they're just showing a commercial, and then there's like a live feed to the auditorium in Philadelphia. I like the no because there's no live audience for these debates, which is rare these days.
It is kind of strange.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they started doing it because of the pandemic, right?
Yeah, but I could have swore they had some. I don't know. I could be wrong, but the early debates, like the early televised debates, like Nixon Kennedy, which is the most famous like early presidential debate, that was in like a news studio.
Right.
So they didn't have a big audience there, but it became tradition to just fill a huge auditorium full of people.
I still think debates should take the form of both challengers going in and using ridiculous exotic weaponry, kind of like Vulcan weaponry.
Thank you.
And, battling to the death. That would be great.
Your hot takes aren't creative anymore, Jeff Holiday. Come up with some better ones. I made a lot of people mad yesterday because I had a hot take. And I don't really care. If you dip fries in a Frosty, you're a degenerate. Okay?
I don't do it personally, but not because I'm opposed to it. Just because I like to have a full mouth flavor of the sweet versus a full mouth flavor of the salty and alternate them. But, like, I'm not going to hate on that.
I'm going to hate on it.
It is kind of weird. You just arbitrarily just call them a
They should all go live on Garbage Island.
I don't know, man.
Because that's the kind of person JF wants.
I don't think so.
Oh, you got to disagree all the time. I know, Jeff, you disagree. You disagree.
Think about it, though, for a minute. Aside from the fact that he'll do it, he doesn't agree with race mixing. So you think he'd agree with, like, food mixing? I don't think so. We must... That is degeneracy, actually. We must keep them separate by equal.
When Dave Thomas, a.k.a. Fast Food Jesus, created Wendy's, he created a Frosty to be a dessert and fries to be enjoyed with ketchup, the good old American condiment. He didn't want this... What? Oh, let me guess. You disagree, Jeff? You disagree?
I just don't like ketchup that much. Like, every now and then I'll put it on
Actually,
fries,
I did when I went to Europe, like mainland Europe, mainly they use mayo instead of ketchup, and there was a Belgian fries, like fries originate in Belgium, and there are these huge like Belgian fry stands all over like the Flemish and like the Netherlands and the Dutch areas of Europe.
Right.
And
sure, I get what you're saying.
And they're known for having maybe like 20 different dipping sauces to choose from. There's all different types of mayo and different types. Like I had like a curry flavored ketchup, which was pretty good.
That's pretty good. I'll fuck with some fry sauce, but like I like ranch, I like blue cheese.
When you say fry sauce, is that like the Northwestern like mayo and ketchup mixed together? Is that what you mean by fry sauce?
Yeah, but it needs to have like just a tiny smattering, just a tiny bit of relish, because otherwise relish is gross, and a little bit of extra spice, like maybe some seasoned salt or something. Like,
yeah. I had never heard of fry sauce before I moved out here. That it's like a Northwestern kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what though?
Tasty.
Like, I'm not a big relish fan either, but Dick's Burgers, their burgers have sweet relish with mayo mixed together as their like special sauce, and it is really good. I'm like addicted to it. I even make my own at home now too.
Nice. Yeah. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
And by the way, people who are asking about fry sauce, it's just mayo and ketchup mixed together. That's what even Heinz makes a pre-mixed version of it and sells it in stores around here. I don't know where else they sell it, but I didn't see it in the stores until I moved out here. So,
right. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I fuck with it. It's pretty tasty. I don't know. Ketchup for me is a pretty bottom tier condiment.
I know. I was being hyperbolic because I think it's degenerate to dip fries in a Frosty. I don't think ketchup's that great. And actually, the ketchup I buy is the kind where it's like 50% less sugar in it so that like
Sure.
the tomato and the vinegar are the pervasive flavors, not the high fructose corn syrup. You know?
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. I'm all about that mustard supremacy, man.
I love
mustard.
I like mustard more, and mustard is 0 calories too. But I don't see. I'm not one of these people where it's like, oh, I only like ketchup, and that's all I'm gonna like, or I like mustard, so I can't like ketchup. You know, like the weird like tribalistic. I like Xbox, so you can't like PlayStation. You know, like
right.
I don't get the loyalty. Like, yes, I like ketchup in some things. I do like mustard better overall. But yeah, here's Heinz mayo chup.
Mayo chup. Yep.
That sounds
Good old
gross.
mayo
Like
chup.
the word to me sounds kind of gross. And the
Mayo
people at
chup.
home can't see it. Let me switch things just for a minute so they can see the mayo chup. See, there's
Yeah.
the mayo chup.
It's different. It's worth a try. For something that's gonna be a little bit, a little bit different.
I've never had Heinz mayo before. I'm not surprised that they make it, but usually, where I grew up, it's Hellman's mayo, but out here it's called Best Foods, but it's the same thing. They just have different names depending on what part of the country you're in.
You can still get Hellman's mayo here.
I can't find it here. They do not sell it in any of the stores here. But it's the same thing. It's like Rallies and Checkers or Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. It's like the same thing.
God, Rallies, aka Checkers, is fucking disgusting. That's some terrible food. Fuck me.
I've had good Rallies. The thing is with these franchised fast food restaurants, it really comes down to who's running the restaurant. Like I've had some honestly good McDonald's, and I've had some like absolute trash tier McDonald's. It all kind of
Have you ever had a good White Castle?
No, actually, I haven't. There's a ton of White Castles in Ohio. I think they might even be headquartered in Ohio. And there was one down the street from my high school. It's not there anymore because the neighborhood my high school was in is fucking awful. But we used to go. I used to walk to White Castle after school and have a little bit of White Castle, and no, it's never been good. I don't get maybe you know what though, out there I don't know how they work. Franchising is a big thing with these restaurants. Franchising is really important because like over franchising is what kind of kills quality a lot of times. And I don't know if the White Castles are directly owned or if they're franchised, but I've never had like where I ate it and I'm like, oh, like I'm glad I ate that. Like I've never said that.
There's one place that will make White Castle taste good. All you have to do is go eat this one place, and then you go to White Castle, and you're like, actually, this isn't bad. Crystal Burger.
Yeah, I've had it. You know, Culver's blew up.
I don't think I've ever had Culver's, to be honest.
That's like a more Midwestern. You know, back in the day with the popularity of White Castle. By the way, 2 minutes to the debate, and then we'll start listening to the debate. White Castle was so huge when it first came out that there were like White Castle clones, and the one in my area was called White Tower, and it was legitimately good. And the last White Tower restaurant lasted all the way until like the pandemic, and then it went out of business.
I could just imagine. I'm sorry, it's an Ohio thing, and you know I don't like that state, but I just imagine like, kids, where would you like to go for dinner tonight? And all the kids start chanting, White Tower, White Tower, White Tower. It's so Ohio, it fucking hurts, man.
Well, they had them everywhere. There were it was a Midwestern thing, so they had like White Tower in Illinois and stuff too. Here's one of the ones in Toledo. See, it kind of looks like a White Castle, like an old school White Castle. This one got torn down. It doesn't exist. Oh shit, you can't see it, or the people can't see it. Right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking White Tower. White Tower, my dude.
It was better. It was better than White Castle. They served butter burgers where they'd like butter the bun and then like cook the bun on the grill. It's really good. Yeah, some of my early memories, my dad would take me to White Tower.
Do you think their buns are made with white flour?
Yeah. Yeah, they were, actually. Does that ruin your joke if I agree?
Nope. Sure doesn't. Sure doesn't.
Yeah, that's so sad. It was actually founded in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, originally in 1926.
Nobody's perfect. No, actually, I really like Milwaukee. Milwaukee's cool as fuck. I've been to Milwaukee quite a few times.
All right, so the debate is about to start.
Trump, their first face-to-face meeting in this presidential election, their first face-to-face meeting ever.
A historic race for president.
Yeah, it is the first time they've ever met face-to-face, which is kind of cool, too.
Last debate, Donald Trump now up against a new opponent.
That's funny how Kamala Harris managed to be a senator during the Trump administration and not ever been face-to-face with Trump while he was president. That's kind of funny. Did she just skip the State of the Union?
Probably. I think a lot of people did, to be honest.
I love that last ultimate fuck you that John McCain gave to Trump, where he came there like after having cancer surgery and just gave like a thumbs down to vote against whatever Trump wanted. I think it was the wall or whatever, and then just left.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Good evening, I'm David Muir, and thank you for joining us for tonight's ABC News presidential debate. We want to welcome viewers watching on ABC and around the world tonight.
No crowd saves
Kamala
time.
Harris and President Donald Trump are just moments away from taking the stage in this unprecedented
No
race.
crowd also saves time. You know what I mean? No applause or anything. Because they used to have to be like, shut up! You know, not literally, but...
For Vice President Kamala Harris, this is her first debate since President Biden withdrew from the race on July 21st. Of course, that decision followed his debate against President Donald Trump in June. Since then, this race has taken on an entirely new dynamic.
And that brings us to the rules of tonight's debate. 90 minutes.
Please like the stream and send in your Streamlabs.
Have been shared with the campaigns. The candidates
let
will
us
have
know
2
what
minutes
you
to
think
answer
about the
questions,
debate.
and this is the clock. That's what they'll be seeing. 2 minutes.
Wow,
for
they have a
rebuttals
clock just like
and
we
1
have.
minute for follow-ups, clarifications, or responses. Their microphones will only be turned on when it's their turn to speak.
But they'll both be
pre-written
turned
notes
on the
allowed.
entire time.
There is no audience here tonight in this hall at the National Constitution Center. This is an intimate setting for two candidates.
It's an intimate setting? Are they going to make out?
Won the coin toss. He chose to deliver the
What if
final
they
closing
they
statement
walk
of the
towards
evening.
each other
Vice
and
President
instead of like
Harris
shaking
elected
hands,
the
they just
podium
start
to the
making
right.
out?
So let's
like
now
they
welcome
fell
the
in love
candidates
at
to the
first
stage.
sight?
Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump.
I fuck with it. I fuck with it.
Here they come. Here they come. Are they going to acknowledge each? Okay.
Not disappointing.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Blanc.
Let's have a good debate.
Nice to see you. Have fun.
Thank you.
Nice to see you have fun, is
Welcome
what
to
Trump
both.
said.
It's
Thank
wonderful
you.
to have you. It's an honor to have you
Here
both
comes
here.
Kamala.
Good evening. We are looking forward to a spirited and thoughtful debate.
So let's get
That's
started.
not happening.
I want to begin tonight with the issue that voters repeatedly say is their number one issue, and that is the economy and the cost of living in this country. Vice President Harris, you and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your opponent on the stage here tonight often asks his supporters, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid.
Yes or no?
And I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing. We know that we have a shortage of homes and housing, and the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford
I want
to
a
buy
tax
crib,
cut, damn it.
buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children.
Have a fucking kid.
My
No!
passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to start up small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on
You
the
could
other
see the
hand,
wheels
his
turning in
plan
Trump's
is to
head
do
right
what he
now.
has done before,
Oh, yeah.
which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires.
Where's he going to go with it?
and
Is he
big
going to go
corporations.
low? Is he going to argue with what she's saying, or is he going to attack?
My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump's sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month. Economists have said that that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year because of his policies and his ideas about what should be the backs of middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
President Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
First of all, I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that. We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world. And the tariff will be substantial in some cases. I took in billions and billions of dollars
Billions and billions
from China. In fact, they never took the tariff off because there was so much money they can't. It would totally destroy everything.
Yeah, they're hiding his hands.
They're taking in billions of dollars from China and other places. They've left the tariffs on. When I had it, I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation. Look, we've had a terrible...
The cost of tariffs gets passed on to the consumer.
It's a country buster. It breaks up countries.
It's not like this magical thing to like make money on traded goods.
Probably the worst in our nation's history. We were at 21%, but that's being generous because many things are 50, 60, 70, and 80% higher than they were just a few years ago. This has been a disaster for people, for the middle class, but for every class. On top of that, we have millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums. And they're coming in and they're taking...
She just decided she's a black person.
Right now by African Americans and Hispanics, and also unions. Unions are going to be affected very soon.
Did you know unions are a race?
You see what's happening with towns throughout the United States. You look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora,
God, fake
in
news.
Colorado. They are taking over the towns.
The Springfield, Ohio thing is total fake news.
These are the people that she and...
You heard about that, right? Like the Haitians killing people's cats or whatever.
They're dangerous.
Eating the kitty cats.
They're at the highest level of criminality, and we have to get them out. We have to get them out fast. I created one of the greatest economies in the history of our country. I'll do it again and even better.
We are going to get to immigration and border security during this debate, but I would like to let Vice President Harris respond on the economy here.
Well, I would love to. Let's talk about what Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess. What we have done and what I intend to do is build on what we know are the aspirations and the hopes of the American people. But I'm going to tell you all in this debate tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook, a bunch of lies, grievances, and name-calling. What you're going to hear tonight...
I will say I haven't heard the name-calling yet.
...and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president...
He usually opens with it. Project 2025 mentioned...
I believe very strongly that the American people want a president who understands the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us. And I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
President Trump will give you a minute here to respond.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was.
How do you know you're against it if you haven't read it?
Some ideas, I guess some good, some bad, but it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before.
Definitely not an open book.
We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic. And the pandemic was not since 1917, where 100 million people died.
Trump's grandfather died in the 1900 pandemic, the Spanish flu.
We handed them over a country where the economy and where the stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic came in. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We made ventilators for the entire world.
The stock market got objectively higher under Joe Biden.
Nobody thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military. They give me credit for a lot of things.
Not that that matters to common people. Most common people own no stock at all.
The only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounce back, and it bounced back, and it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
So Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse, mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode.
I want to hear them talk about how Trump said he's better looking than Kamala. Because he did.
That'd be good. No, she's spitting fire on this, though.
And by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
That's just a soundbite. They gave her that to say. Look, I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top professors, think my plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. It's a plan that's going to bring up our
He's
worth,
appealing
our value as
to
a country.
authority
It's gonna
right
make
here.
People want to be able to go and work and create jobs and create a lot of good, solid money for our country. And just to finish off, she doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences.
I notice how even though they mute Trump's mic, they can't mute Kamala's mic from picking up Trump.
Taxes. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Take a
Mr.
look at
President,
it.
I
She
do wanna
doesn't
drill
have
down on
one.
something you both brought up. The vice president brought up your tariffs. You responded, and let's drill down on this because your plan is what she calls is essentially a national sales tax. Your proposal calls for tariffs, as you pointed out here, on foreign imports across the board. You recently said that you might double your plan, imposing tariffs up to 20% on goods coming into this country. As you know, many economists say that with tariffs at that level, costs are then passed on to the consumer. Vice President Harris has argued it'll mean higher prices on gas, food, clothing, medication, arguing it costs the typical family nearly $4,000 a year. Do you believe Americans can afford higher prices because of tariffs?
They're not going to have higher prices. What's going to have and who's going to have higher prices is China and all of the countries that have been ripping us off for years. I charge, I was the only president ever. China was paying us hundreds of billions of dollars, and so were other countries. And, you know, if she doesn't like them, they should have gone out and they should have immediately cut the tariffs. But those tariffs are there 3.5 years now under their administration. We are going to take in billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history
that
of
is
our
not
country
true.
Because I've never seen a
Total
worse
lie.
period of time.
Good
People can't
Lord.
go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else. The people of our country are absolutely dying with what they've done. They've destroyed the economy. And all you have to
I'd
do
like
is
to
look
have
at a
some
poll.
bacon
The
cereal.
polls say 80 and 85 and even 90% that the Trump economy was great, that their economy was terrible.
Vice President Harris, I do want to ask for your response, and you heard what the president said there, because the Biden administration did keep a number of the Trump tariffs in place. So how do you respond?
Well, let's be clear that the Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is under Donald Trump's presidency, he ended up selling American chips to China to help them improve and modernize their military, basically sold us out. When a policy about China should be in making sure the United States of America wins the competition for the 21st century, which means focusing on the details of what that requires.
He sold a bunch of Takis to China.
Focusing on investing in American-based technology so that we win the race on AI, on quantum computing. Focusing on what we need to do to support America's workforce so that we don't end up having, on the short end of the stick, in terms of workers' rights. But what Donald Trump did, let's talk about this, with COVID, is he actually thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID. Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point, when we know that Xi was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID.
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought their chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of philosophies like they have and policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is
Here
out
it
the window.
comes.
She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy.
That was
but
good.
If she
That
ever
was
got
kinda
elected,
good.
she'd change
Dude.
it. And
She's cracking
it will
up.
be the
Kamala
end of
is
our
laughing.
country. She's a
Is
Marxist.
Trump
Everybody
sporting a
knows
little
she's
bit of
Marxist.
Klingon
Her father's
forehead?
a Marxist professor in
Yeah.
economics. And
What is
he
that?
taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country, and when you look at these millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21 million people, not the 15 that people say, and I think it's a lot higher than the 21. That's bigger than New York State pouring in. And just look at what they're doing to our country. They're criminals. Many of these people coming in are criminals. And that's bad for our economy, too. You know, you mentioned before, we'll talk
You're
about
a criminal in
immigration
New
later.
York, actually.
Well, bad immigration is the worst thing that can happen to our economy. They have, and she has, destroyed our country with policy that's insane. Almost policy that you'd say they have to hate our country.
President Trump, thank you. Lindsay?
I want to turn to the issue of abortion. President Trump, you've often touted that you were able to kill Roe v. Wade. Last year, you said that you were proud to be the most pro-life president in American history. Then last month, you said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive rights. In your home state of Florida, you surprised many with regard to your 6-week abortion ban.
It's like
you initially
Trump's
had said
eyebrows,
that it was too
they like
short.
go
And you
up
said,
into
quote,
his
I'm
head,
gonna be
like a
voting that we
Klingon
need
forehead.
more than
That's
6
great.
weeks. But then the very next day, you reversed course and said you would vote to support the 6-week ban. Vice President Harris says that women shouldn't trust you on the issue of abortion
God,
because
his
you've changed
neck
your
pussy
position
is
so
so
many
offensive
times.
right now. What the
Therefore,
fuck?
why should they trust you?
Well, the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is, they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, who's doing an excellent job, but the governor before, he said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute
even
the
if
baby.
he said
And
that,
that's why
it's
I did
not
that,
legal to
because
kill
that
a baby
predominates,
after it's been
because they're
born.
radical.
No,
The
it's
Democrats
not.
are radical in that. And her vice presidential pick, which I think was a horrible pick, by the way, for our country, because he is really out of it. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's an execution, no longer abortion,
This is
because
all
the baby is born.
garbage.
Is okay.
Total horseshit,
And that's not
yeah.
okay with me, hence the vote. But what I did is something for 52 years. They've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. And through the genius and heart and strength of 6 Supreme Court justices, we were able to do that. Now, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also. 85%
I mean,
of
you've done at
Republicans
least
do.
2 of those, right?
Exceptions, very important. But we were able to get it, and now states are voting on it. And for the first time, you're going to see, look, this is an issue that's torn our
Does
country
Trump wear
apart
lipstick?
for 52 years. Every legal scholar, every
I think he-
Democrat,
Like
every
a
Republican,
white-ish
liberal,
lipstick?
conservative, they all wanted this issue to be
Gender
brought
affirming
back to
care
the states
benefit.
where the people could vote. And that's what happened. And now, Ohio, the vote was somewhat liberal.
OH.
Kansas, the vote was somewhat liberal, much more liberal than people would have thought. But each individual state is voting. It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born.
Thank
Madam
you,
Vice President, I wanna
moderator,
get your
for
response to
clarifying
President
that.
Trump.
Well, as I
Jesus
said, you're going to hear a bunch
fucking
of lies, and that's not actually a surprising fact. Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life.
That
Trump
is
abortion bans that make
fucked
no
up.
exception even for rape and incest,
Yeah.
which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime, a violation to their body, does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country.
Oh no, religion
You
loves
wanna
telling
talk
women
about
what
this
to do
is
with their
people
body.
Wanted?
They love it.
Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to
She's
jail.
looking
and she's
at him,
bleeding out in a car in the
and
parking
he's
lot.
just
She
looking
didn't
straight
want that.
ahead.
Her
He won't
husband
even
didn't
make eye
want that.
contact.
A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term? They don't want that.
She's fucking
And I
shredding
pledge
him.
to you, when Congress passes a bill to put back in place the protections of Roe v. Wade, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. But understand, if Donald Trump were to be reelected, he will sign a national abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancies, your miscarriages. I think the American people
Fucking
believe
1984
that
shit.
certain freedoms,
Yeah,
in
dude.
particular the freedom to make
He must
decisions
be so
about
mad
one's
that
own
Biden
body,
dropped out right now.
Oh,
should
he
not be
is.
made by
He
the
was
government.
mad.
Thank you.
He was
Vice
like, now we got to
President
start
Harris.
all over
There she
again.
goes again. It's a lie. I'm not signing a ban, and there's no reason to sign a ban.
Oh, you'll
because
sign it.
We've gotten what everybody wanted. Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar wanted it to be brought back into the states. And the states are voting. And it may take a little time, but for 52 years, this issue has torn our country apart. And they've wanted it back in the states. And I did something that nobody thought was possible. The states are now voting. What she says is an absolute lie. And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter because this issue has now been
It does
taken
matter.
over
You
by
can
the
pass a
states.
federal abortion ban, and it won't matter what the states vote
Well, I
on.
won't have to because, again, two things. Number one, she said she'll go back to Congress. She'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote, especially now with the 50-50 and essentially 50-50 in both Senate and the House. She's not going to get the vote. She can't get the vote. She won't even come close to it. So it's just talk. You know what it reminds me of? When they said they're going to get student loans terminated, and it ended up being a total catastrophe.
Well,
the student loans. And
there
then
were lawsuits that prevented
I think
that from
probably her
happening.
boss,
Correct.
if you
Yeah,
call
yeah.
him a boss, he spends all his time on the beach. But look, her boss went out and said, we'll do it again. We'll do it a different way. And he went out, got rejected again by the Supreme Court. So all these students got taunted with this whole thing about this whole idea. And how unfair that would have been. Part of the reason they
Kamala
lost
looks
to the
confused.
millions and millions of people that had to pay off their student
I'm
loans.
confused.
They didn't get it for
I'm
free. But
confused.
they were
What the
saying
fuck?
it's the
This is an
same
old
way
man
that they talked
ranting.
about that,
Old man
that they
yells
talked
at
about
cloud.
abortion.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto
What a
it if it did
clown,
come to
J.D.
that.
Well, I
Vance.
didn't discuss it with J.D. In all fairness, J.D. And I don't.
Oh, you
mind
don't
if
discuss
he has
major
a certain
policies
view,
with
but
your
I think
vice
he was thinking for
presidential
me, but
running
I
mate?
really didn't.
That's
Look,
bizarre.
Yeah.
we don't have to discuss it because
Oh,
she'd never
yes,
be
you
able to get
do.
it. Just
He's your
like she
running
couldn't get
mate.
Student loans, they couldn't get.
You
Student
guys
loans.
should
They didn't
agree
even come
on
close to getting
most
student
of
loans.
everything.
They taunted young people and a lot of other people that had loans. They can never get this approved. So it doesn't matter what she says about going to Congress. Well, wonderful. Let's go to Congress. Do it. But the fact is that for years they wanted to get it out of Congress and out of the federal government. And we did something that everybody said couldn't be done. And now you have a vote of the people on abortion.
Vice President Harris, I want to give you your time to respond, but I do want to ask, would you support any restrictions on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America. And understand what has been happening under Donald Trump's abortion bans. Couples who pray and dream of having a family are being denied IVF treatments. What is happening in our country? Working people, working women who are working 1 or 2 jobs, who can barely afford childcare as it is, have to travel to another state to get on a plane sitting next to strangers to go and get the health care she needs. barely can afford to do it, and what you are putting her through is
When
unconscionable.
the right say that they
And
don't
the
want big
people of
government,
America
they mean
have not-
regulations
the
for the
majority of
rich and big
Americans
Yes,
businesses.
believe in a woman's right to
They have
make
no
decisions
issues with
about her
big
own body,
government and people's
and that is
personal
why
lives.
100%.
in every state where this issue
It's
has been on
only
the ballot in red
financially,
blue
and it's
states,
only for big corporations.
America have voted for freedom.
Small government
Vice
for
President
them.
Harris,
Excuse me, I
thank
have
you.
to respond.
Pollute all you
Another
want,
lie. It's
game the
another lie.
system all you want.
I have been a leader on IVF.
Treat your
which
employees
is
like shit
fertilization.
all you
The
want.
IVF, I have been a leader.
That's
In
what they
fact,
advocate
when they
for.
got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature 2 days later voted it in. I've been a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF. And the other
He's been a
thing,
leader on fertilization.
you should ask.
I was fertilizing
Will
myself.
she allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that? Why don't you ask her
Why-
that question?
why don't you answer
That's
the
problem.
question, would you
Because
veto?
under Roe v. Wade,
Answer the question,
you
would you
could,
veto?
you could do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th
That's
month,
not true.
and probably
They're
after
leaving
birth.
both mics
Just
on
look
now,
at
by the way,
governor,
just-
former
'cause it's way
governor
better.
of
Like, they
Virginia.
need both mics
The
on. There
governor
has
of
to be some
Virginia
back
said
and
we
forth.
put the baby aside, and then we determine what we want to do with the baby.
President Trump, thank you.
We're going to turn now to immigration
Oh,
and border
dude,
security.
no,
we know it's
keep
an
that
issue that's
going.
important to Republicans, Democrats, voters across the board in this country. Vice President Harris, you were tasked by President Biden with getting to the root causes of migration from Central America. We know that illegal border crossings reached a record high in the Biden administration. This past June, President Biden imposed tough new asylum restrictions. We know the numbers since then have dropped significantly. But my question to you tonight is, why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And let me say that the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime trying to do their job. It would have
Kamala would have ran as a Republican 20 years ago. Like, it's shifted so hard because of Trump that, like, we've shifted so far to the right because of Trump that now Dick Cheney is endorsing Kamala. Like the old Republican establishment endorses Kamala because Trump has, like, taken over their party.
Oh, yeah.
Called up some folks in Congress and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And understand, this comes at a time where the people of our country actually need a leader who engages in solutions, who actually addresses the problems at hand. But what we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And I'll tell you something, he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you. You will not hear him talk about your needs, your dreams, and your desires.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, I believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first, and I pledge to you that I will.
Posture
Vice President Harris, thank you.
changed.
President Trump, on that point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so? That would have put thousands
He's
of
gonna
additional
forget what
agents and
Kamala just
officers on the
said.
border.
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's busing them in and paying them to be there. And then showing them in a different light.
The blacks for
she
Trump,
can't
they
talk
were not
about that.
paid.
People don't leave my rallies. We have the
she's
biggest
gritted
rallies,
so
the most
hard.
Look at
incredible
her.
rallies
Yeah, she's
in the
all
history
like-
of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened
She hit him where it
3.5
hurt.
years ago.
She's got him on a
what's
defensive
going
posture.
on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. what they
He's
have done
right.
to
He's
our
all
country
over the
by
place
allowing
now.
these millions and millions of
And
people
millions
to come
and
into our
millions
country.
and billions.
look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk
Springfield
about it because
again.
they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
Kamala's
They're
laughing her
eating-
ass off.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening
Fake
in our
news
country.
to the
And
extreme.
it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success,
He's
we'll
mad.
end up being Venezuela on steroids.
Big mad.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well,
All
I've
this-
seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is the
people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good
Yeah.
thing to say for a city manager.
No, I'm not taking this from
But the
television.
people
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice
We'll
President
find
Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond to the
Yeah,
rest of
who's the person on television?
Talk about extreme. This is, I think, one of the reasons why in this election, I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formerly worked with President Bush, Mitt Romney, and John McCain, including the endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney and Congress member Liz Cheney. And if you want to really know the inside track on who the former president is, if he didn't make it clear already, just ask people who have worked with him. His former chief of staff, a four-star general, has said he has contempt for the Constitution of the United States. His
Trump
former
just
national
said, like-
security advisor has said he is
like that.
dangerous and unfit.
Oh, yeah.
His former Secretary of Defense has said the nation, the Republic, would never survive another Trump term. And when we listen to this kind of rhetoric, when the issues that affect the American people are not being addressed, I think the choice is clear in this election.
President Trump, I'll give you a quick minute to respond here.
Thank you, because when I hear that, see, I'm a different kind of a person. I fired most of those people. Not so graciously. They did bad things or a bad job. I fired them. They never fired one person. They didn't fire anybody having to do with Afghanistan and the Taliban and the 13 people whose
Was there
were just
Taliban
killed
in their-
viciously
in their,
and violently
cabinet?
killed. And I got to know the parents and the family. They didn't fire. They should have
He's
fired
all over the place
those
again.
generals, all those top people, because
Old
that was
man
one of the
rant
most
incoming.
incompetently handled situations anybody has ever seen. So when somebody does a bad job, I fire him. And you take a guy like Esper. He was no good. I fired him. So he writes a book. Another one writes a book. Because with me, they can write books. With nobody else can they. But they have
Can
done
they?
such a poor job, and they never fire anybody. Look at the economy. Look at the inflation. They didn't fire any of their economists. They have the same people. That's a good way not to have books written about you. But just to finish, I got more votes than any Republican in history by far. In fact,
That's just
I got more votes
population.
than any president, sitting president in history by far.
Let me continue on immigration.
Yeah,
It was what
because
you wanted
the
to talk about
population
earlier,
by
so let's get
far
back
is
to the
bigger than ever.
deportation, proposal that the vice president has reacted to as well.
What were you saying, Jeff?
You call this the largest domestic deportation operation.
So
in the
he
history of our country.
still never answered why he got people to kill the bill, the immigration bill.
Yeah, it's gish galloping. It's obfuscation, whether it's intentional or not, or it's just his weird brain not working right.
You believe that number is much higher. Take us through this. What does this look like? Will authorities be going door to door in this country?
Yeah, it is much higher because of them. They allowed criminals, many, many millions of criminals.
Millions!
They allowed terrorists. They allowed common street criminals. They allowed people to come in, drug dealers, to come into our country. And they're now in the United States and told by their countries like Venezuela, don't ever come back or we're going to kill you. Do you know that crime in Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down? You know why? because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our
To
country.
her?
And this will be one of the greatest mistakes in history for them to allow. And I think they probably did it because they think they're going to get votes, but it's not worth it because they're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in. And all over the world, crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof, despite their fraudulent statements that they made. Crime in this country,
and actually, crime in the
and we have a new
in the
form of
20th
crime.
century was way higher than the crime we have now.
And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice President Harris,
the FBI they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst
anything
cities.
that says I'm wrong is fake.
They didn't include the cities with the worst crime. It was a fraud, just like their number of 818,000 jobs that they said they created turned out to be a fraud.
President Trump, thank you. I'll let you respond, Vice President Harris.
Well, I think this is so rich, coming from someone who has been prosecuted for national security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing. And let's be clear where each person stands on the issue.
I wish
of
the
what is
sentencing was
important
happening
about
before
respect
Election
for the
Day,
rule of
but it's
law
not.
And respect for law enforcement. The former vice president called for defunding federal law enforcement, 45,000 agents, get this, on the day after he was arraigned on 34 felony counts. So let's talk about what is important in this race. It is important that we move forward, that we turn the page on this same old tired rhetoric and address the needs of the American people, address what we need to do about the housing shortage, which I have a plan for, address what we must do to support our small businesses, address bringing down the price of groceries. But frankly, the American people are exhausted with this same old tired playbook.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
Excuse me. Every one of those cases was started by them against their political opponent. And I'm winning most of them, and I will win the rest on appeal. And you saw that with the decision that came down just recently from the Supreme Court. I'm winning most of them. But those are
the ones that haven't happened yet, he's winning, and the ones that he lost, he'll win in appeal.
They weaponized the Justice Department. Every one of those cases was involved with the DOJ, from Atlanta and Fani Willis to the Attorney General of New York and the DA in New York. Every one of those cases. And then they say, oh, he's a criminal. They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the documents case.
Essentially guilty? Is that when Sturgis finds you guilty? You essentially guilty, bud.
Complete and total victory. 2 months ago, it was thrown out. It's weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election. They're fake cases.
President Trump, thank you. A really quick response here, Vice President Harris, on this notion of weaponization of the Justice Department.
Well, let's talk about extreme and understand the context in which this election in 2024 is taking place. The United States Supreme Court recently ruled that the former president would essentially be immune from any misconduct if he were to enter the White House again. Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Someone who has openly expressed disdain for members of our military. Understand what it would mean if Donald Trump were back in the White House with no guardrails, because certainly we know now the court won't stop him. We know J.D. Vance is not going to stop him. It's up to the American people
Vice President
to stop
Harris,
him.
Thank you. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized. I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy with a fake Russia investigation
we do have a lot
that went nowhere.
We have a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss at least every point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States. And in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking. My position is that we have got to invest in diverse sources of energy so we reduce our reliance on foreign oil. We have had the largest increase in domestic oil production in history because of an approach that recognizes that we cannot over-rely on foreign oil. As it relates to my values, let me tell you, I grew up a middle-class kid raised by a hardworking mother who worked and saved and was able to buy our first home when I was a teenager. The values I bring to the importance of home ownership, knowing not everybody got handed $400 million on a silver platter and then filed bankruptcy 6 times, is a value that I bring to my work to say we are going to work with the private sector and home builders to increase 3 million homes, increase by 3 million homes by the end of my first term. My work that is related to having a friend when I was in high school who was sexually assaulted by her stepfather. And my focus then on protecting women and children from violent crime is based on a value that is deeply grounded in the importance of standing up for those who are most vulnerable. My work that is about protecting Social Security and Medicare
remember something like
is based
that
on
happening.
long-standing work that I have done, protecting seniors from scams.
I don't think he's mentioned that yet, has he?
My values have not changed. And what is important is that there is a president who actually brings values and a perspective that is about lifting people up and not beating people down and name-calling. The true measure of the leader is the leader who actually understands the strength is not in beating people down, it's in lifting people up. I intend to be that president.
President Trump, your response?
First of all, I wasn't given $400 million. I wish I was. My father was a Brooklyn builder, Brooklyn, Queens.
Nobody cared.
And a great
my
father,
God,
and I learned a lot from him. But I was given a fraction of that, a tiny fraction. And I built it into many, many billions of dollars. Many, many billions. And when people see it, they are even surprised. So we don't have to talk about that. Fracking, she's been against it for 12 years. Defund the police. She's been against that forever. She gave all that stuff up.
Even when she was
very wrongly,
a prosecutor?
very horribly,
What?
And everybody's laughing at it, okay?
That's how she makes her money.
She gave up at least 12 and probably 14 or 15 different policies. Like, she was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out. Wait a minute. I'm talking now.
Oh.
You don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar?
He used her catchphrase against her.
She went out,
I'm speaking now is actually what it is.
She went out in Minnesota and wanted to let criminals that killed people, that burned down Minneapolis, she went out and raised money to get them out of jail. She did things that nobody would ever think of. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. This is a radical left liberal that would do this. She wants to confiscate your guns, and she will never allow fracking in Pennsylvania. If she won the election, fracking in Pennsylvania will end on day one. Just to finish, one thing so important in my opinion. So I got the oil business going like nobody has ever done before. When they took over, they got rid of it, started getting rid of it, and the prices were going up the roof. They immediately let these guys go to where they were. I would have been 5 times, 4 times, 5 times higher, because you're talking about 3.5 years ago. They got it up to where I was because they had no choice, because the prices of energy were quadrupling and doubling. You saw what happened to gasoline. So they said, let's go back to Trump. But if she won the election, the day after that election, they'll go back to destroying our country, and oil will be dead, fossil fuel will be dead. We'll go back to windmills, and we'll go back to solar, where they need a whole desert to get some energy to come out of it. You ever see a solar plant? By the way, I'm a big fan of solar, but they take
What the fuck is he even saying?
500 acres of desert
President
soil.
Trump, we have a
These
lot
are
of
not good
issues
things
that we
for the
have to get
environment,
to.
as
We're
she
out of time.
understands.
Thank you.
Lindsay, thank you.
Nobody
We have an
can
election
say it,
in
dude.
just
Shut the
56
fuck
days.
up.
And I want to talk about the peaceful transfer of power, which, of course, we all know is a cornerstone of our democracy, and the role of a president in a moment of crisis. Mr. President, on January 6th, you told your supporters to march to the Capitol. You said you would be right there with them. The country and the world saw what played out at the Capitol that day, the officers coming under attack. Aides in the West Wing say you watched it unfold on television off the Oval Office. You did send out tweets, but it was more than 2 hours before you sent out that video message telling your supporters to go home. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day?
You just said a thing that isn't covered. Peacefully and patriotically, I said during my speech, not later on. Peacefully and patriotically. And nobody on the other side was killed. Ashley Babbitt was shot by an out-of-control police officer that should have never, ever shot her. It's a disgrace. But we didn't do this group of people that have been treated so badly. I ask, what about all the people that are pouring into our country and killing people that she allowed to pour in? She was the border czar, remember that. She was the border czar. She doesn't want to be called the border czar because she's embarrassed by the border. In fact, she said at the beginning, well, I'm surprised you're not talking about the border yet. That's because she knows what a bad job they've done. What about those people? When are they going to be prosecuted? When are these people from countries all over the world, not just South America, they're coming in from all over the world, David, all over the world, and crime rates are down all over the world because of it.
But let me just
when
ask
are those, David, when are those people going to be prosecuted? When are the people that burned down Minneapolis going to be prosecuted? Or in Seattle? They went into Seattle. They took over a big percentage of the city of Seattle.
No,
When
they
are those
didn't. They
people
took
gonna be
over like
prosecuted?
3 blocks.
Well,
A
let me just
big
ask you.
You might ask her that
percentage?
question.
You were the
Come
president.
on.
You were watching it unfold on television. It's a very simple question as we move forward toward another election. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day? Yes or no?
I had nothing to do with that other than they asked me to make a speech. I showed up for a speech. I said, I think it's going to be big. I went to Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington, D.C., and the mayor put it back in writing, as you know. I said, you know, this is going to be a very big rally or whatever you want to call it. And again, it wasn't done by me. It was done by others. I said, I'd like to give you 10,000 National Guard or soldiers. They rejected me. Nancy Pelosi rejected me.
That
it was
is not
just
true.
2 weeks ago. Her daughter has a tape of her
That's a
saying
total
she
fucking
is fully
lie.
responsible for what happened. They want to get rid of that tape. It would have never happened if Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington did their jobs. I wasn't
Oh, it's her
responsible
fault.
for security. Nancy Pelosi was responsible. She didn't do her job.
The question was about you as president, not about former Speaker Pelosi, but I do want Vice President Harris to respond here.
I was at the Capitol on January 6th. I was the vice president-elect. I was also an acting senator. I was there. And on that day, the President of the United States incited a violent mob to attack our nation's capital, to desecrate our nation's capital. On that day, 140 law enforcement officers were injured, and some died. And understand, the former president has been indicted and impeached for exactly that reason. But this is not an isolated situation. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side. Let's remember that when it came to the Proud Boys, a militia, the president said, the former president said, stand back and stand by. So for everyone watching who remembers what January 6th was, I say, we don't have to go back. Let's not go back. We're not going back. It's time to turn the page. And if that was a bridge too far for you, well, there is a place in our campaign for you to stand for country, to stand for our democracy, to stand for rule of law, and to end the chaos, and to end the approach that is about attacking the foundations of our democracy because you don't like the outcome. And be clear on that point. Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
Yeah.
Let's turn the page on this. Let's not go back. Let's chart
If
a
I win,
course
you won't have to vote
for the
anymore. I'll
future
fix it.
and not go backwards to the past.
Let me just follow up here.
It was a different term, and it was a term that related to energy because they have destroyed our energy business. That was where bloodbath was. Also, on Charlottesville, that story has been, as you would say, debunked. Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, Jesse, all of these people, they covered it.
They're
If they
all
go an
conservative
extra
commentators
sentence, they will
who he
see
just
it was
mentioned.
perfect. It was debunked
Yeah.
in almost every newspaper, but they still bring it up, just like they bring 2025 up. They bring all of this stuff up. I ask you this. You talk about the Capitol. Why are we allowing these millions of people to come through on the southern border? How come she's not doing anything? And I'll tell you what I would do, and I would be very proud to do it. I would say we would both leave this debate right now. I'd like to see her go down to Washington, D.C. during this debate because we're wasting a lot of time. Go down to, because she's been so bad, it's so ridiculous. Go down to Washington, D.C. and let her sign a bill to close up the border because they have the right to do it. They don't need bills. They have the right to do it. The President of the United States, you'll get him out of bed. You'll wake him up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Right. You'll say, come on down to the office. Let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is closed, all he has to do is say it to the Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. If they do that, the border is closed.
Mr.
Those
President,
people are killing many people, unlike J6.
We talked immigration here tonight. I do want to focus on this next issue to both of you because it really brings us this into focus, truth in these times that we're living in. Mr. President, for 3.5 years after you lost the 2020 election, you repeatedly falsely claimed that you won, many times saying you won in a landslide. In the past couple of weeks leading up to this debate, you have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you, quote, didn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short.
I said that?
Are you now acknowledging that you lost in 2020?
No, I don't acknowledge that at all.
But
I
you
said
did
that
say
sarcastically.
Trump is talking the same way
we
boomers
lost by a
argue on
whisker.
social
That
media
was said
right.
sarcastically.
He might as well
Look,
use Proud Boys
there's so much
website
proof.
as a
All you have to
source.
do is look at it, and they should have sent it back to the legislatures for approval. I got almost 75 million votes, the most votes any sitting president has ever gotten. I was told if I got 63, which was what I got in 2016, you can't be beaten. The election, people should never be thinking about an election as fraudulent. We need two things. We need walls, and we have to have it. We have to have borders, and we have to have good elections. Our elections are bad. And a lot of these illegal immigrants coming in, they're trying to get them to vote. They can't even speak English. They don't even know what country they're in practically. And these people are trying to get them to vote. And that's why they're allowing them to come into our country.
I did watch all of these pieces of video. I didn't detect the sarcasm, lost by a whisker. We didn't quite make it. And we should just point out here as clarification, and you know this, you and your allies, 60 cases in front of many judges, many of them
No
Republican.
judge looked at it.
And said
they
there was
said
no
we didn't have
widespread fraud.
standing. That's the other thing. They said we didn't have standing, a technicality. Can you imagine a system where a person in an election doesn't have standing? The president of the United States doesn't have standing. That's how we lost. If you look at the facts, and I'd love to have you'll do a special on it. I'll show you Georgia, and I'll show you Wisconsin, and I'll show you Pennsylvania, and I'll show you. We have so many facts and statistics, but you know what? That doesn't matter because we have to solve the problem that we have right now. That's old news. And the problem that we have right now is we have a nation in decline, and they have put it into decline. We have a nation that is dying, David.
Mr. President, thank you. Vice President Harris, you heard the president there tonight. He said he didn't say that he lost by a whisker. So he still believes he did not lose the election that was won by President Biden and yourself. But I do want to ask you about something that's come up in the last couple of days. This was a post from President Trump about this upcoming election just weeks away. He said, when I win, those people who cheated, and then he lists donors, voters, election officials, he says will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences. One of your campaign's top lawyers responded saying, we won't let Donald Trump intimidate us. We won't let him suppress the vote. Is that what you believe he's trying to do here?
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. And I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States, and world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have talked with military leaders, some of whom worked with you, and they say you're a disgrace. And when you then talk in this way in a presidential debate and deny what over and over again are court cases you have lost because you did, in fact, lose that election, it leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact. That's deeply troubling, and the American people deserve better.
I'll give you 1 minute to respond, Mr. President.
Let me just say about world leaders. Viktor Orban, one of the most respected men, they call him a strong man. He's a tough person, smart. Prime Minister of Hungary. They said, why is the whole world blowing up? 3 years ago, it wasn't. Why is it blowing up? He said, because you need Trump back as president. They were afraid of him. China was afraid, and I don't like to use the word afraid, but I'm just quoting him. China was afraid of him. North Korea was afraid of him. Look at what's going on with North Korea, by the way. He said Russia was afraid of him. I ended the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, and Biden put it back on day one, but he ended the XL pipeline. The XL pipeline in our country, he ended that. But he let the Russians build a pipeline going all over Europe and heading into Germany, the biggest pipeline in the world. Look, Viktor Orban.
Yeah, we don't want oil pipelines pumping oil across continents.
Person is
we don't want
Trump.
it.
We had no problems when Trump was president. But when this weak, pathetic man that you saw at a debate just a few months ago, that if he weren't in that debate, he'd be running instead of her. She got no votes. He got 14 million votes. What you did, you talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her. But he got 14 million votes. They threw him out. She got 0 votes. And when she ran, she was the first one to leave because she failed.
You gave her money.
She's running. I don't understand it, but I'm okay with it because
your time is
I think
up.
we're going to
Thank
do
you.
very well.
We've got a lot more to get to.
Turning now to the Israel-Hamas war and the hostages who are still being held, Americans among them. Vice President Harris, in December, you said, quote, Israel has a right to defend itself, but you added, quote, it matters how, saying international humanitarian law must be respected. Israel must do more to protect innocent civilians. You said that 9 months ago. Now an estimated 40,000 Palestinians are dead. Nearly 100 hostages remain. Just last week, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there's not a deal in the making. President Biden has not been able to break through the stalemate. How would you do it?
Well, let's understand how we got here. On October 7, Hamas, a terrorist organization, slaughtered 1,200 Israelis. Many of them young people who were simply attending a concert.
A guy from a country with large amount of neo-Nazis and conservative nationalists.
I said then, I say now.
Yeah.
Israel has a right to
What did he say,
defend itself.
Bulgaria? Did he say Bulgaria
And
or
how it
Hungary?
does
No, he
so
said Hungary,
matters.
right?
Because it is also true, far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. Children, mothers. What we know is that this war must end. It must end immediately, and the way it will end is we need a ceasefire deal and we need the hostages out. And so we will continue to work around the clock on that. Work around the clock, also understanding that we must chart a course for a two-state solution. And in that solution, there must be security for the Israeli people and Israel, and in equal measure for the Palestinians. But the one thing I will assure you always, I will always give Israel the ability to defend itself, in particular as it relates to Iran and any threat that Iran and its proxies pose to Israel. But we must have a two-state solution where we can rebuild Gaza, where the Palestinians have security, self-determination, and the dignity they so rightly deserve.
President Trump, how would you negotiate with Netanyahu and also Hamas in order to get the hostages out and prevent the killing of more innocent civilians in Gaza?
If I were president, it would have never started. If I were president, Russia would have never, ever, I know Putin very well, he would have never, and there was no threat of it either, by the way, for 4 years, have gone into Ukraine and killed millions of people when you add it up, far worse than people understand what's going on over there. But when she mentions about Israel, all of a sudden, she hates Israel. She wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu when he went to Congress to make a very important speech. She refused to be there because she was at a sorority party of hers. She wanted to go to the sorority party.
I wonder how true that is.
She hates Israel. If she's president, I believe that Israel will not exist within 2 years from now.
Oh, my
And
God.
I've been pretty good at predictions, and I hope I'm wrong about that one.
Did you hear that?
She hates Israel. At the same
Within
time,
2
in her own way,
years.
she hates the
What?
Arab population.
That is just a crazy
because
statement,
the
even if she
whole
really
place
hated
is gonna
Israel.
get blown up. Arabs.
Damn.
Like, literally, even if, like, President Kamala Harris hated Israel, it would not be gone in 2 years because of that.
Under Donald Trump.
No.
Now Iran has $300 billion because they took off all the sanctions that I had. Iran had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah or any of the
I
28
love hummus.
different
Me too.
spheres of
Big fan.
terror. And
I
they
like the
are
pine nut
spheres
type of
terror,
hummus.
Horrible terror. They had no money.
Yeah.
It was a big story, and you know it. You covered it very well, actually. They had no money for terror. They were broke. Now they're a rich nation, and now what they're doing is they're spreading that money around. Look at what's happening with the Houthis and Yemen. Look at what's going on in the Middle East. This would have
Houthis and
never
the
happened.
bluefish.
I will get that settled and fast,
Houthis
and
and
I'll
the
get the
bluefish.
war
That's
Yeah.
right.
Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president.
Vice President Harris, he says you hate Israel.
That's absolutely not true. I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He knows that. He's trying to, again, divide and distract from the reality, which is it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy.
Ooh.
It is well known that he admires
Ooh.
dictators, wants to be a dictator on day one, according to himself. It is well
Oh, yeah.
known that he said of Putin that he can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was brilliant. It is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un. And it is absolutely well known that these dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again because they're so clear. They can manipulate you with flattery and favors. And that is why so many military leaders who you have worked with have told me you are a disgrace. That is why we understand that we have to have a president who is not consistently weak and wrong on
Vice
national
President
security,
Harris.
including the importance of upholding and respecting in highest regard our military.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
They're the ones, and she's the one.
No,
that caused
you.
it.
Uno
That's weak
reverse
on
card.
national security by allowing every nation last month for the year, 168 different countries sending people into our country. Their crime rates are way down. Putin endorsed her last
climb
week.
weights?
Said, I hope she wins.
Climb
And I
weight.
think he meant it.
The climb weights are
Because
way
what
down.
he's gotten away with is absolutely incredible. It wouldn't have happened with me. The leaders of other countries
Climb
think
weights.
that they're weak and incompetent, and they are. They're grossly incompetent. And I just ask one question. Why does Biden go in and kill the Keystone Pipeline and approve the single biggest deal that Russia's ever made, Nord Stream 2, the biggest pipeline anywhere in the world going to Germany and all over Europe? Because they're weak and they're ineffective. And Biden, by the way,
President
gets paid
Trump,
a lot of money.
Thank you. We have a lot of issues to get to.
We'll be right back with much more of this historic ABC News
Oh,
presidential
we get a
debate from the
pee-pee
National
break.
Constitution Center right here in Philadelphia. Back
Time to go potty, everybody.
That's what I'm about to do really quick.
I want to go and kind of glance a little bit at Twitter. Like, this is fucking nuts, man. Is this a debate or an intervention? Everyone was trying to explain to him that he didn't win in 2020. Oh, great screen caps of him going ah, and her laughing hysterically. Good shit. Good shit. This is I'm not seeing hardly anyone. I haven't seen anyone saying he's doing good yet. Yeah, this is fucking nuts. What the fuck? Does anybody think he's not absolutely fucking flailing on this shit? Do you think is Trump gonna eat a poo later? Maybe. If it'll help him, if it'll comfort him in his hard time. How am I so sexy? Age, baby. You just gotta get old. Just survive. That's all you gotta do. The older you get, sexier you get. On my Twitter, why would you? I know, like, I guess I could go, like, who would I want to look at to see, like, somebody coke posting? You know? I don't know. Who would I look like? Ben Shapiro or some shit? And Wokeness said he's doing the best ever. I bet. And Wokeness did. And Wokeness is where the fucking, the cat conspiracy, eating cat conspiracy came from. That's like literally where it came from.
Where did it come from?
And Wokeness.
Oh, was it? Yeah, JD Vance got the most attention on it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the genesis of it.
Yeah.
The Jared genesis of it, if you will, came from
saying.
Yeah.
By the way, please like the stream. And thanks for helping us get to almost 40% of our goal. I'm hoping maybe we can finish out this stream at 50, 60%. So
God damn.
What?
Okay, Matt Walsh. Kamala baited Trump by making fun of his rallies. Trump took the bait and got way off message, but then Kamala screwed up her own moment by bragging that Mitt Romney likes her. Flags on both teams. Replay the down. Nah. Because the thing is, like, the only people that aren't going to be like, actually, that's a good point, are MAGA people who don't like Mitt anyway. She's not trying to appeal to MAGA people. She's trying to appeal to Republican voters who are tired of Trump. And a lot of them like Mitt. I mean, if you can sway all of Utah, that's a big block. And it's not just about the people or the electoral votes, but Mormons hold a considerable amount of fucking power in this country. Like, they really do. It's scary.
They do. Like, there's a lot of power and wealth in the Latter-day Saints movement.
Yeah. You can't welcome RFK Jr. into your campaign and then go around accusing other people of eating pets. That's good, too. That's pretty good.
Good one.
Yeah, I will say I'm really liking that the moderators are not. I mean, they're allowing some lies to go through, but I mean, if they try to fact check or lie check everything Trump said, they never get anywhere. But they're doing some.
Biden, all he would be doing is, "What are you talking about, man? What
is this? Hey.
Yeah,
what is he saying?
You got the morals of an alley cat."
Yeah. Listen here, fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Pretty fucking nutty. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm watching to see when they come back. I didn't know there was going to be a commercial break, but that's good.
That's all right. Allows people to get up and pee. Even my dad's texting me and he's like, "Holy shit, this guy is fucking cooked." Yeah.
We'll see. Everyone was so sure of it the first time he ran and he won, so I wouldn't count him out until the numbers start rolling in.
He's nothing like he was back in the day.
I understand that, but I won't make that mistake again. And the polls are pretty even still. So
2016, I remember I did a stream on election night, and I titled it before we even knew what was going to happen.
Some black guy, breaking news, Trump's other ear got shot just now.
Oh, shit.
And sorry for interrupting.
What's up, Derek? How you doing, buddy? Miss you. What the fuck was I saying? Oh, yeah. So when election night happened...
They're back, by the way.
Right. Let's go.
Tonight, we're going to continue here, and I want to turn to the war in Ukraine. We're now 2.5 years into this conflict. Mr. President, it has been the position of the Biden administration that we must defend Ukraine from Russia, from Vladimir Putin, to defend their sovereignty, their democracy, that it's in America's best interest to do so, arguing that if Putin wins, he may be emboldened to move even further into other countries. You have said you would solve this war in 24 hours. You said so just before the break tonight. How exactly would you do that? And I want to ask you a very simple question tonight. Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I want the war to stop. I want to save lives that are being people being killed by the millions. It's the millions. It's so much worse than the numbers that you're getting, which are fake numbers. Look, we're in for 250 billion or more. because they don't ask Europe, which is a much bigger beneficiary to getting this thing done than we are. They're in for $150 billion less because Biden and you don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO. They paid billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars when I said either you pay
loves that.
or we're not going to
Billions and
protect you
billions.
anymore. So that's maybe one of the reasons they don't like me as much as they like weak people. But you take a look at what's happening. We're in for 250 to 275 billion. They're into 100 to 150. They should be forced to equalize. With that being said, I want to get the war settled. I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well.
We
I
had
have
a perfect
good
phone call.
relationship, and they respect your president, okay? They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin, hasn't spoken to anybody.
I made so
they don't
many
even
phone
try
calls.
and get it. That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president. If I win, when I'm president-elect, and what I'll do is I'll speak to one, I'll speak to the other, I'll get them together. That war would have never happened. And in fact, when I saw Putin after I left, unfortunately left because our country has gone to hell. But after I left, when I saw him building up soldiers, he did it after I left, I said, oh, he must be negotiating. It must be a good, strong point of negotiation. Well, it
I love
wasn't.
how Trump
because
claims that
Biden had
Haitians
no
are eating
idea how to
dogs
talk
while
to him. He
RFK
had
is
no
taking
idea how
dead
to
whale
stop
heads
it.
home
And
to
now
feed
you have
his mind
millions of
flayer
people
government.
dead, and it's
Glory
only
to the
getting worse,
absolute.
and it could lead to
RFK
World
Jr.
War III.
He's
Don't kid
dumping
yourself,
dead
David.
bear
We're playing with
cubs in
World War
Central
III,
Park, too.
And we have a president that we don't even know if he's. Where is our president? We don't even know if he's a president.
And just to clarify
they
here,
threw him out of a campaign like a dog. We don't even know. Is he our president? But we have a president,
Mr. President,
that doesn't know he's alive.
Your time is up. Just to clarify on the question, do you believe it's
He
in the
doesn't
US
even
best
know
interest
he's
for
alive.
Ukraine to win this war, yes or no?
I think it's the U.S. best interest to get this war finished and just get it done.
All right.
Negotiate a deal, because we have to stop all of these human lives from being destroyed.
I want to take this to Vice President Harris. I want to get your thoughts on support for Ukraine in this moment, but also as Commander-in-Chief, if elected, how would you deal with Vladimir Putin, and would it be any different from what we're seeing from President Biden?
Well, first of all, it's important to remind the former president you're not running against Joe Biden, you're running against me. I believe the reason that Donald Trump says that this war would be over within 24 hours is because he would just give it up. And that's not who we are as Americans. Let's understand what happened here. I actually met with Zelensky a few days before Russia invaded, tried through force to change territorial boundaries, to defy one of the most important international rules and norms, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity. And I met with President Zelensky. I shared with him American intelligence about how he could defend himself. Days later, I went to NATO's eastern flank, to Poland and Romania. And through the work that I and others did, we brought 50 countries together to support Ukraine in its righteous defense. And because of our support, because of the air defense, the ammunition, the artillery, the javelins, the Abrams tanks that we have provided, Ukraine stands as an independent and free country. If Donald Trump were president, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv right now. And understand what that would mean, because Putin's
Trump's
agenda
making this face.
is not just about Ukraine. Understand why the European
Yeah, it's
allies
like a-
and our NATO
it's like a
allies
smile yet a
are so
frown at the same
thankful
time.
that you are no longer president, and that we understand the importance of the greatest military alliance the world has ever known, which is NATO, and what we have done to preserve the ability of Zelensky and the Ukrainians to fight for their independence. Otherwise, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv with his eyes on the rest of Europe, starting with Poland. And why don't you tell the 800,000 Polish Americans right here in Pennsylvania how quickly you would give up for the sake of favor and what you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
Vice President Harris, thank you. We've heard from both of you on Ukraine tonight. Afghanistan came up in the last
That
hour.
was beautiful.
I wanted her to respond to something you said earlier. And please, I'll give you a minute here.
Putin would be sitting in Moscow, and he wouldn't have lost 300,000 men and women, but he would have been sitting in Moscow. Quiet, please. He would have been sitting in Moscow much happier than he is right now. But eventually, you know, he's got a thing that other people don't have. He's got nuclear weapons. They don't ever talk about that. He's got nuclear weapons. Nobody ever thinks about that. And eventually, maybe he'll use them, and maybe he hasn't been that threatening. But
I'm getting feeble old
we don't
man
even like
vibes.
to talk about.
Like,
nobody likes to talk about it. But just so you understand, they sent her to negotiate peace before this war started. 3 days later, he went in and he started the war because everything they said was weak and stupid. They said the wrong things. That war should have never started. She was the emissary. They sent her in to negotiate with Zelensky and Putin, and she did. And the war started 3 days later. And that's the kind of talent we have with her. She's worse than Biden. In my opinion, I think he's the worst president in the history of our country. She goes down as the worst vice president in the history of our country. But let me tell you something. She is a horrible negotiator. They sent her in to negotiate. As soon as they left, Putin did the invasion.
President Trump, thank you. You did bring up something. You said she went to negotiate with Vladimir Putin. Vice President Harris, have you ever met Vladimir Putin? Can you clarify tonight?
Yet again, I said it at the beginning of this debate, you're going to hear a bunch of lies coming from this fellow. And that is another one. When I went to meet with President Zelensky, I've now met with him over 5 times. The reality is it has been about standing as America always should, as a leader upholding international rules and norms, as a leader who shows strength, understanding that the alliances we have around the world are dependent on our ability to look out for our friends and not favor our enemies because you adore strongmen instead of caring about democracy. And that is very much what is at stake here. The President of the United States is commander-in-chief. And the American people have a right to rely on a president who understands the significance of America's role and responsibility in terms of ensuring that there is stability and ensuring we stand up for our principles and not sell them for the benefit of personal flattery.
We've talked about Ukraine and Vladimir Putin. I do want to talk about Afghanistan. It came up in the first hour of this debate. I want to move on to Afghanistan.
Stoltenberg said Trump did the most amazing thing I've ever seen. He got these countries, the 28 countries at the time, to pay up. He said, I've never seen. He's the head of NATO.
I've never seen it. He always does that.
For years,
no one's ever seen it before.
Of NATO. We were
no one thought it would happen.
By European nations, both on trade and on NATO. I got them to pay up by saying one of the statements you made before, if you don't pay, we're not going to protect you.
President
Otherwise,
Trump.
we would have never gotten it. He said it was one of the most incredible jobs that he's ever seen done.
Thank you. I want to turn to Afghanistan. It came up in the first hour of the debate, and we witnessed a poignant moment today on Capitol Hill, honoring the soldiers who died in the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. I do want to ask the Vice President, do you believe you bear any responsibility in the way that withdrawal played out?
Well, I will tell you, I agreed with President Biden's decision to pull out of Afghanistan. 4 presidents said they would, and Joe Biden did. And as a result, America's taxpayers are not paying the $300 million a day we were paying for that endless war. And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world, the first time this century. But let's understand how we got to where we are. Donald Trump, when he was president, negotiated one of the weakest deals you can imagine. He calls himself a deal maker. Even his national security advisor
The Art of the
said
Deal.
it was a weak, terrible deal. And here's how it went down. He bypassed the Afghan government. He negotiated directly with a terrorist organization called the Taliban. The negotiation involved the Taliban getting 5,000 Taliban terrorists released. And get this. And the president at the time invited the Taliban to Camp David, a place of storied significance for us as Americans, a place where we honor the importance of American diplomacy, where we invite and receive respected world leaders. And this former president, as president, invited them to Camp David because he does not, again, appreciate the role and responsibility of the President of the United States to be commander-in-chief with
He
a
invited
level
the
of
Taliban
respect.
to Camp
And this
David?
gets
I've never
back
heard
to
of this before.
The point of how he has consistently
literally fucking
disparaged
yes,
and
he
demeaned
absolutely
members
did
of our
that.
military,
That's crazy.
fallen soldiers,
Yeah,
and
dude,
the
it was
work that we
fucking
must do
nuts.
to uphold the strength and the respect of the United States of America around the world.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, your response to her saying that you began the negotiations with the Taliban.
So, if you take a look at that period of time, the Taliban was killing our soldiers, a lot of them, with snipers. And I got involved with the Taliban because the Taliban was doing the killing. That's the fighting force within Afghanistan. They don't bother doing that because, you know, they deal with the wrong people all the time. But I got involved. And Abdul is the head of the Taliban. He is still the head of the Taliban. And I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're going to have problems. And he said, why do you send me a picture of my house? I said, you're going to have to figure that out, Abdul. And for 18 months, we had nobody killed. We did have an agreement negotiated by Mike Pompeo. It was a very good agreement. The reason it was good, it was we were getting out. We would have been out faster than them, but we wouldn't have lost the soldiers. We wouldn't have left many Americans behind, and we wouldn't have left $85 billion worth of brand new, beautiful military equipment behind. And just to finish, they blew it. The agreement said you have to do this, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. The agreement was terminated by us because they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
I want to move on.
And these people did the worst
I want to move
withdrawal.
on.
And in my opinion, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And by the way, that's why Russia attacked Ukraine, because they saw how incompetent she and her boss are.
President Trump, thank you. I want to move on now to race and politics in this country. Mr. President, you recently said of Vice President Harris, quote, I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight.
Oh, my God.
Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something. I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was.
He's running.
Not black, that she put out, and
that she put out.
That, and then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her.
She put
that's up to her.
Vice President Harris, your thoughts on this?
I think it's, I mean, honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. You know, I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race. And let's remember how Donald Trump started. He was land, he owned buildings, and he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families.
I read that she was black.
Let's remember, this is the same individual who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5.
Yeah, he did
Took
that.
out a full-page ad calling for their execution. This is the same individual who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States.
Sure
and
did.
I think the American people want better than that, want better than this, want someone who understands, as I do, I travel our country. We see in each other a friend. We see in each other a neighbor. We don't want a leader who is constantly trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other. I meet with people all the time who tell me, can we please just have discourse about how we're going to invest in the aspirations and the ambitions and the dreams of the American people? Knowing that regardless of people's color or the language their grandmother speaks, we all have the same dreams and aspirations and want a president who invests in those, not in hate and division.
Vice President Harris, thank you. Lindsay?
President Trump, this is now your third time.
This is the most divisive presidency in the history of our country. There's never been anything like it. They're destroying our country, and they come up with things like what she just said. Going back many, many years, when a lot of people, including Mayor Bloomberg, agreed with me on the Central Park Five, they admitted, they said, they pled guilty. And I said, well, if they pled guilty, they badly hurt a person, killed a person ultimately. And if they pled guilty, then they pled, we're not guilty. But this is a person that has to stretch back years, 40, 50 years ago, because there's nothing now. I built one of the greatest economies in the history of the world, and I'm going to build it again. It's going to be bigger, better, and stronger. But they're destroying our economy. They have no idea what a good economy is. Their oil policies, every single policy. And remember this, she is Biden. You know, she's trying to get away from Biden. I don't know the gentleman, she says. She is Biden. The worst inflation we've ever had, a horrible economy because inflation has made it so bad that she can't get away with that.
There's been eras of way higher inflation.
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country. One who believes in what is possible, one who brings a sense of optimism about what we can do instead of always disparaging the American people. I believe in what we can do to strengthen our small businesses, which is why I have a plan. Let's talk about our plans and let's compare the plans. I have a plan to give startup businesses $50,000 tax deduction, to pursue their ambitions, their innovation, their ideas, their hard work. I have a plan, $6,000 for young families for the first year of your child's life, to help you in that most critical stage of your child's development. I have a plan that is about allowing people to be able to pursue what has been fleeting in terms of the American dream by offering a help with down payment of $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. That's the kind of conversation, I believe, David, that people really want tonight, as opposed to a conversation that is constantly about belittling and name-calling. Let's turn the page
Vice President
and move
Harris,
forward.
thank you. Let's turn to policy.
President Trump, we have to move on. President Trump.
Let's turn to policy, please.
She has a plan to defund the police. She has a plan to confiscate everybody's gun.
President Trump,
she
we
has
do
a
have to
plan
move on to
not
other
allow
issues.
fracking in Pennsylvania or anywhere else.
Okay.
That's what her plan is until just recently.
I just need to respond. The
President
former
Trump
president has said something twice that I need to respond to.
I'm sorry. We're going to move on, Vice President Harris. President Trump, this is now your third time running for president. You have long vowed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. You have failed to accomplish that. You now say you're going to keep Obamacare, quote, unless we can do something much better. Correct. Last month, you said, quote, we're working on it. So tonight, 9 years after you first started running, do you have a plan, and can you tell us what it is?
Obamacare was lousy health care, always was. It's not very good today. And what I said, that if we come up with something, and we are working on things, we're going to do it, and we're going to replace it. But remember this. I inherited Obamacare because Democrats wouldn't change it. They wouldn't vote for it. They were unanimous. They wouldn't vote to change it. If they would have done that, we would have had a much better plan than Obamacare. But the Democrats came up. They wouldn't vote for it. I had a choice to make when I was president. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, never going to be great, or do I let it rot? And I felt I had an obligation, even though politically it would have been good to just let it rot and let it go away. I just signed it, and I told my people, the top people, and they're very good people. I have a lot of good people in that administration. We read about the bad ones. We had some real bad ones, too, and so do they. They have really bad ones. The difference is they don't get rid of them. But let me just explain. I had a choice to make. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, or do I let it rot? And I saved it. I did the right thing. But it's still never going to be great, and it's too expensive for people. And what we will do is we're looking at different plans. If we can come up with a plan that's going to cost our people, our population, less money and be better health care than Obamacare, then I would absolutely do it. But until then, I'd run it as good as it can be run.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now.
Plan.
But if we come up with something, I would only change it if we come up with something that's better and less expensive. And there are concepts and options we have to do that. And you'll be hearing about it in the not-too-distant future.
Vice
Next
President Harris, in
Sunday,
2017, you
AD.
supported Bernie Sanders' proposal to do away with private insurance and create a government-run healthcare system. 2 years later, you proposed a plan that included a private insurance option. What is your plan today?
Well, first of all, I absolutely support, and over the last 4 years as vice president, private healthcare options. But what we need to do is maintain and grow the Affordable Care Act. But I'll get to that, Lindsay. I just need to respond to a previous point that the former president has made. I've made very clear my position on fracking. And then this business about taking everyone's guns away. Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
Boom.
As it relates to the Affordable Care Act, understand, just look at the history to know where people stand. When Donald Trump was president, 60 times he tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. 60 times. I was a senator at the time when I will never forget the early morning hours when it was up for a vote in the United States Senate. And the late, great John McCain, who you have disparaged as being, you don't like him, you said, at the time because he got caught. He was an American hero. The late, great John McCain, I will never forget that night, walked onto the Senate floor and said, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't get rid of the Affordable Care Act. You have no plan. And what the Affordable Care Act has done is eliminate the ability of insurance companies to deny people with pre-existing conditions. I don't have to tell the people watching tonight, you remember what that was like? Remember when an insurance company could deny if a child had asthma, if someone was a breast cancer survivor, if a grandparent had diabetes? And thankfully, as I've been vice president and we over the last 4 years have strengthened the Affordable Care Act, we have allowed for the first time Medicare to negotiate drug prices on behalf of you, the American people. Donald Trump said he was going to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices. He never did. We did. And now we have capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. Since I've been vice president, we have capped the cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000 a year. And when I am president, we will do that for all people, understanding that the value I bring to this is that access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. And the plan has to be to strengthen the Affordable Care Act, not get rid of it,
Vice
pass his
President
prologue
Harris, thank
in terms
you.
of where Donald Trump stands on that.
I want to move to an issue that's important for a lot of...
She made a mistake. Number one, John McCain fought Obamacare for 10 years. But it wasn't only him. It were all of the Democrats that kept it going. And you know what? We can do much better than Obamacare, much less money. But she won't improve private insurance for people, private medical insurance. That's another thing she doesn't want to get. People are paying privately for insurance that have worked hard and made money, and they want to have private. She wants everybody to be on government insurance where you wait 6 months for an operation that you need immediately.
President Trump, thank you. We have another issue that we'd like to get to that's important for a number of Americans, in particular younger voters, and that's climate change. President Trump, with regard to the environment, you say that we have to have clean air and clean water. Vice President Harris, you call climate change an existential threat. The question to you both tonight is, what would you do to fight climate change? And Vice President Harris, we'll start with you. 1 minute for you each.
Well, the former president had said that climate change is a hoax. And what we know is that it is very real. You ask anyone who lives in a state who has experienced these extreme weather occurrences, who now is either being denied home insurance or it's being jacked up. You ask anybody who has been the victim of what that means in terms of losing their home, having nowhere to go. We know that we can actually deal with this issue. The young people of America care deeply about this issue. And I am proud that as vice president over the last 4 years, we have invested $1 trillion in a clean energy economy, while we have also increased domestic gas production to historic levels. We have created over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs while I have been vice president. We have invested in clean energy to the point that we are opening up factories around the world. Donald Trump said he was going to create manufacturing jobs. He lost manufacturing jobs. And I'm also proud to have the endorsement of the United Auto Workers and Sean Fain, who also know that part of building a clean energy economy includes investing in American-made products, American automobiles. It includes growing what we can do around American manufacturing and opening up auto plants, not closing them like happened under Donald Trump.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
That didn't happen under Donald Trump. Let me just tell you, they lost 10,000 manufacturing jobs this last month. It's going, they're all leaving. They're building big auto plants in Mexico, in many cases owned by China. They're building these massive plants, and they think they're going to sell their cars into the United States because of these people. What they have given to China is unbelievable. But we're not going to let that. We'll put tariffs on those cars so they can't come into our country, because they will kill the United Auto Workers and any auto worker, whether it's in Detroit or South Carolina or any other place. What they've done to business and manufacturing in this country is horrible.
No more softball.
We have nothing.
Time for the
because
most important
they
question
refuse.
for both
You know,
candidates.
Biden doesn't go
What
after
are your
people
PRs
because
for bench
supposedly
press,
China paid him
squat,
millions of dollars.
deadlift,
He's afraid to
and
do
military
it between
press?
him and his son.
And are you
They get all
not?
this money from Ukraine.
They're both
They get all
juicing.
this
They're
money
on
from
gear.
all of these different countries.
they're all
And then
geared
you
up,
wonder,
yeah.
why is he so loyal to this one, that one, Ukraine, China? Why is he? Why did he get $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? Why did he get? Why did she pay him $3.5 million? This is a crooked administration, and they're selling our country down the tubes.
President Trump, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with closing statements from both of our candidates. An historic night, this ABC News presidential debate from Philadelphia. Back in a moment.
Ooh, my God, man.
I will be right back. I will take this opportunity again. Here you go.
$3.5 million. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Yeah, he's been getting his fucking ass whooped. We need Copes to weigh in on this debate. I agree. You know, really, what we need to know is, like, what their opinions are on gender relations. You know what I'm saying? Remember when Kamala was not black, then became black? I do remember that. I do. Yeah, I would love if Hake was here. I would be so happy if Hake was here. I can't even begin to tell you how much that would just make me so tickled pink. My pink would be tickled. I'm voting for JFK Jr. Indeed. Black. Did enjoy my debate with Hake. Yeah, I don't know if like me and Hake really even debated. Really, like I had this horrible like tendency. Okay, and I accept it. I accept that this is an absolute reality. I am not good at debating because if I'm debating somebody whose views I think are like bizarre, I tend to just ask them questions because I'm fascinated by them. And I want to know more about like why they think the things that they think, right? And so I'm more like wanting to just listen to them and hear like what kind of crazy shit they're going to say next. And so like I did a debate at one point with Flat Earth Jesus, right? And I think that's what his name was. I can't remember. And they brought me on and shit, and I couldn't like. I guess I probably could have like kind of been mean to him, but instead I just kept asking questions because I'm like, how in the fuck is this motherfucker real? This is so crazy. It's so fucking nuts. Not really a Destiny fan, but he's been crushing it lately. You know, Destiny is a hard person to be a fan of. I've known Destiny for a long time. I've been on his stream before. Yeah. I was a different person back then. I think I was went on a stream to actually defend Sargon of Akkad. Don't judge me too harshly, please. Please. Yeah, I was a different guy back then, all right? Very naive, very stupid. Hake had terrible views, but it's funny that he still sent a bunch of donuts after he left the show. Yeah, well, I mean, Hake's like a I hate, it's hard to say, but like, Hake's kind of like a pretty stand-up guy.
Who?
Hake. He's kind of a stand-up guy in like a really fucking weird way, like he, he's totally full of shit and like crazy, weird, bigoted and everything, but like, I mean, once he was done with the show, he like was just like, "Hey, do you guys here's some donuts? I had a lot of fun." And like that was really cool. It was really fucking cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said.
So I don't know, man. Yep. It's a good dude. I don't know, Ben. How badly is Kamala doing right now? Is she getting her ass stomped by Trumpy? By Dumpy Chumpy?
No.
Do you think he got mad enough to poop his pants? I hope he did.
Into his diaper?
Yeah. Sounds like Destiny was a good guy and Jeff was a bad guy if Jeff was defending Sargon. Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was pretty dumb.
What, you argued with Destiny about Sargon?
Yeah, years and years and years years ago. Like 8 fucking years ago. I'm going to freshen up my drink.
All right.
Welcome back tonight. The time has come for closing statements, and Vice President Harris, we begin with you.
So I think you've heard tonight 2 very different visions for our country. One that is focused on the future, and the other that is focused on the past, and an attempt to take us backward. But we're not going back. And I do believe that the American people know we all have so much more in common than what separates us. And we can chart a new way forward. And a vision of that includes having a plan, understanding the aspirations, the dreams, the hopes, the ambition of the American people, which is why I intend to create an opportunity economy, investing in small businesses, in new families, in what we can do around protecting seniors, what we can do that is about giving hardworking folks a break and bringing down the cost of living. I believe in what we can do together that is about sustaining America's standing in the world and ensuring that we have the respect that we so rightly deserve, including respecting our military and ensuring we have the most lethal fighting force in the world. I will be a president that will protect our fundamental rights and freedoms, including the right of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. I'll tell you, I started my career as a prosecutor. I was a DA, I was an attorney general, a United States senator, and now vice president. I've only had one client, the people. And I'll tell you, as a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on what we can do over the next 10 and 20 years to build back up our country by investing right now in you, the American people.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump?
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years. They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like We're not going to frack. We're not going to take fossil fuel. We're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year, they were back to building normal
What did Germany try?
plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our country for the sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. All over the world, they're laughing. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have done to our country, and maybe toughest of all, is allowing millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
President Trump, thank you. And that is our ABC News presidential debate from here in Philadelphia at the National Constitution Center. I'm Lindsay Davis.
And I'm David Muir. Thank you for watching here in the U.S. and all over the world, and from all of us here at ABC News. Good night.
All right, there you have it. Everyone get your votes in. I'm going to close the voting. Not like it matters.
Yeah.
Like, it's a total ass whooping.
Is it? I closed it down because I didn't want to. Yeah. Damn. All right. Well, I didn't want to jinx the vote.
Oh.
You know. Yeah. I wanted to be impartial. But yeah, no, she absolutely throttled this fucking ass. Insane. Fucking sane.
Yeah, give me just a minute here. I'm gonna fix things here.
You are gonna fix things. Fake news. Here comes the fake news media. What are you gonna? You're gonna make it so I lost. I lost, Benjamin. Is that what you're gonna do? Fake news. You are fake news.
All right, let's see here.
Let's see it.
There. All right. All right, back to normal show, and we've got some cool stuff. So I guess I'm gonna close the. So what did you take away from this? Like overall, what's your opinion of the debate before we move on to something else?
Okay, so there's two ways I can answer that, right? I will first say like the edited version of what I want to say, which is I think Kamala Harris did really, really good, and she baited him a lot, made him look like a fucking dipshit, which, you know, he is. He seemed very discombobulated, so self-absorbed that I think is in a way very off-putting, especially to people who are independent voters are going to be very turned off by that. And so that's good. So overall, good Kamala. Good Kamala. Good showing. It's got to be really easy to debate against somebody who is a water-headed fucking idiot. And then there's the quiet part, which I will say out loud, which is I can't wait for her to win so I can absolutely shred her on her opinions about the Israel-Palestine conflict. So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
How about you? How do you feel about it?
It went exactly how I thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
Trump thought he had a slam dunk with Biden, and now he has someone that's way sharper who's going to clap back at him way quicker, and it's just... I'm glad this happened. I was really calling for it after the last debate, so I'm glad that we're here right now because I really don't want Trump. And then, yeah, I'll be easily critical of her as president for sure.
Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
All right. And I guess we'll see what happens at the next debate because they're going to have at least one more, I think.
if he agrees to, he might fucking chicken out, man. Like, I can see him easily just being like, no, absolutely not. I'm not going to debate that hag again. No, no. I could totally see him doing that. Just being a pussy about it.
So we are gonna check this out here. Let's do our thing.
Did Trump have Tulsi Gabbard help prepare him in the debate? This was the result. She torched his ass.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I have to do one thing here. So, yeah, it'll take a minute here. I forgot that I'm on this other setup for the debates, so I have to fix something here. More fixing.
My dog is the prettiest dog in the whole world.
Very pretty dog.
Yeah. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, come here. Give us the big screen.
The chroma key is... Oh, no. Hold on. It's playing the... Oh, shit. It's not playing the... Hold on. I need to fix this shit. Sorry.
Oh, the chroma key. Penny. You're being Thanos snapped right now, Penny. I don't feel so good, Mr. Holiday. I gotta fix that. Yes, I know. Oh, I know, babe. Oh, God.
Very cute doggy. All right.
I forgot to fucking feed her. Hang on.
Yeah, that's important. I'm going to play the intro. Oh, shit. Is it not going to do it? Let me do it here. Why is it not playing the video? It's being weird. We'll all play it. We'll all sing it together.
Somewhere in the world today, men have got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. Stand up.
It's amazing.
Stand up.
It's amazing.
Stand up.
Crazy bastards, back at it with another video. This time I got a wicked cool food hack for you. Right here we have some waterfront bistro seafood salad, southwestern style. And we got some pinwheels.
Oh
These are
no.
the Italian style pinwheel sandwiches. These are delectable as always. Now we're going to take one of these gorgeous looking pinwheels.
At least he bought it and not try to make it again, because the pinwheels he made
And we're going to take our seafood salad. And we'll take a scoop of the seafood salad. I want to put it on top of our pinwheel sandwich.
Jeff's dog is not somewhat green. Jeff's dog is like white-ish, and it's reflecting the green screen around her, I would say.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah. It's entirely, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I need to redial in my green screen.
I notice your mic is also, it has like a reflection on it. So it has, like, yeah. So you can see through it.
So a buddy of mine knew that I was having some issues with my old Sony DSLR. Like, it's just kind of getting old. So he sent me this Elgato cam. It's just like you have to dial everything in from like 3 different apps to get it exactly how you want it. And it's just a pain because, like, yeah, my studio green screen, it's very wrinkly, you know.
Yeah.
Just like that. Let's get it.
Get it, buddy. Get it, boy.
He has no upper front teeth anymore.
Are they pretty much just gone?
They're basically gone. He moved it over to the side.
Because I'm going to eat it.
And bit it like that.
Buddy. Makes me so sad.
Oh no, he just left.
What?
And this is a pre-recorded video. Like, it's not a live stream.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, fuck.
That food hack is pretty swinging, YouTube. And that seafood, southern style seafood salad's got a little bit of spice to it.
Spice.
And it's not too spicy, it's just the right amount of heat.
Right?
Over, I would support doing that food hack again because that was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Want to wash it down with some body armor, peach mango.
He loves that drink.
Some hydration going.
Yeah, chugging it.
That's what's up.
He has his bearded dragon humping that snake.
Fuck sickos.
Also, Deathbed Tape's got a hold of Spooky Sarah. So we'll be able to get the new songs done. And my package should be here tomorrow.
When he ends his videos, it's so random. That was the end.
That was what? Oh,
yep.
Okay.
Glorious bastards. I'm watching
Here's another
Tipsy
one.
Bartender live here, and I saw this woman that they're talking about. Let's see what she has to say.
Man advice, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so this is a woman on women, okay? She's giving man advice about women. So let's listen to this. Oh, she's giving women advice about women. I don't fucking know.
Okay, let's see.
Women that want to be with a guy will get on a plane, they'll get on a boat, they will meet you anywhere in the world because they want to be with you. The problem with older, bitter, single women is they tell women that they are the prize. And the problem is you will never be happy with a guy that treats you like the prize.
So let me get this straight. If he treats you like you're the queen, you're the prize, you'll never be happy with that?
Women hate men that put them on a pedestal.
Yeah, he loves the gender relations shit.
Coming in nicely, Tubes.
He has to
Coming
expose the inequities between the genders in the dating
Well,
world.
yeah. I mean, why is there so much inequity between the genders, Ben? Like, what the fuck? Why did that happen? It's weird.
Bullshit. Women hate men that put them on pedestals. I call bullshit. Someone who's a fucking asshole to you, you'll complain about that too because all men are the same. Wow.
Oh, he's watching just Pearly things? Oh, no.
Probably.
Oh, no. Oh, God. What am I doing? Wait. Okay, what am I doing to fix gender relations? Well, I can actually answer that right now. Number one, I'm doing single moms. Number two, doing hot femboys and muscular chads in the locker room. And number three, banging all of the hot transes. But I also make them wear a chainmail bikini when we do it because I'm a sicko.
Son kissed
Fuck
my
sickos.
ass.
I'll fuck something.
You can tell if women don't like their husbands if they were friends first. When a woman wants to be with a guy, she will not friend zone him. Women don't even care if you have a girlfriend or a wife or whatever. I'm just being honest, guys. Women will hunt you down if they want to be with you.
And that's skank-like behavior. And let me ask you this to the woman saying this crap. What if it were gender reversed?
Oh, she doesn't care.
No, she
sitting
doesn't give a
here,
shit.
she's all talking like, "Oh, women don't care if you got a wife or a girlfriend; they will hunt you down if they want you." Like we're some kind of.
She doesn't even want women voting.
That is so degrading to men, dude. And furthermore, this is why women hate each other because it's like, bro, if he's taken, back off. If it were gender reversed, he would be the biggest creep for chasing after her because she's taken. Fuck off.
Fuck
off. Yeah, so women that friend zone men, they tend to date.
No, women friend zone. I'll tell you why women friend zone men. Because women have been conditioned to think they have to date assholes. It's full of bullshit, YouTube.
Is that why?
Women are being told all women want it.
So when Cobes gets rejected, it's like, oh, well, it's because I'm a nice guy, and they've been tricked into thinking they need to date assholes. That's why she rejected me.
He sounds like such a nice guy. You know, he sounds like a really nice dude.
Yeah.
So I get it. I fucking get it, buddy.
All men want is sex, blah, blah, blah. And it's toxic bullshit, stereotypical lies like that hurt the dating scene. And then as soon as you find the perfect asshole, you can't stand him because he treats you like shit.
The perfect asshole.
Let me tell you something, Cobra. I once found the perfect asshole.
You should show it to Trumpster Bob because he did like every asshole he looks at, he thinks it's all used up.
I kept that for myself. I'm not sharing the perfect asshole with anybody else. Do I think Kamala will help gender relations? Unironically, yes.
Women will friend zone dudes because they've been conditioned to friend zone the nice guy. Aww. And by the time she's gone through her ring of cocks.
Ring of cocks.
I fell into a burden ring of cocks.
Burden ring of cocks. I've been there, buddy. I've been to those parties. I get it.
Same. All of a sudden, she'll think to herself, "Yeah, maybe I should give that nice guy a chance, right?" Right.
You remember Saunders, the guy we all made fun of in high school? Yeah. He has these fantasies of all the girls that rejected him getting together and talking about him. Remember Saunders?
You remember Saunders?
Yeah.
Sure do. Wow.
Somebody left a comment on the last video I did where they were like, "You remember Saunders, the guy we used to make fun of?" "Yeah, I do. What's he up to?" "Well, now everybody around the world makes fun of him."
Okay, that's not very funny. It's
why did you laugh
funny,
then?
I want to talk
and then
about.
By the time she comes around to the idea of wanting to date your sorry nice guy ass, you have a girlfriend 4 billion times hotter than she'll ever be, who treats you like the way you deserve to be treated. Not with psycho manipulations, not with stalking, not with love bombing. Fuck out of here with this dumb slag.
Fuck off.
Yeah, women say they want assholes until they start dating them. Ha ha. I'm tired of this shit, YouTube. I am physically and emotionally just tired of this shit.
Jessica is a sicko, Cobra.
Jessica is legitimately a sicko.
And I'm literally almost out of tobacco, so that's going to make me a fucking grouchy asshole.
Oh, is that why?
I got a tiny little bit left in the bag here. It's just a little weedy bitty pinch.
What?
Tired of this shit.
I'm tired of this shit.
He's doing a Chris Rock stand-up.
It's like, you know what? Treat others the way you want to be fucking treated. If you couldn't handle your boyfriend being a psychotic fucking asshole, why would you want to do it to him? Real talk.
Real talk. Real talk. Real dumb talk.
Oh, the other day, too, when Jessica Boyle saw the video I made about her, she managed to get a hold of one of my friends I was hanging with because it was a friend of mine's birthday, and she was like, "Why'd you make that nasty video about me?" I'm like, "It's not a nasty video. I was standing up for myself, because a lot of people are saying some fucked up shit about me. And it's like, I'm not like that, dude. You're the one fucking stalking me. And then when I called you out on it, you're like, it's not stalking. It's because I love you. And I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
Yeah, you tell her.
Oh, and then, because I'm a man of my word, Jessica wanted to try the chocolate beer that I love so much. And I told Jessica, I said, well, I'll buy you a 4-pack of it when you get back to Virginia. Because the store I wanted to order it from via DoorDash is out of stock. I digress. I found another liquor store that sells it, so it's all good in the hood, man. But that's not the point. So, even though we're broken up,
what is the point?
I try to be nice, and I buy her a fucking 4-pack. And she's like, on Facebook going, this isn't an apology, but who cares, bottoms up, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, excuse me, bitch, I wasn't apologizing to you. And I don't appreciate the fact that Jessica's going around on Facebook and telling people that I want to off myself. Fuck you. And then all the emotional and physical damage she caused to this relationship. And then she wants to take pictures of me passed out in my chair like a creepy fucking psycho bitch.
Whoa. Time out. Hank Chill says, Negan laughing ain't no Lara Flynn Boyle from Twin Peaks. I'm sorry, but no. We have to talk about this because Lara Flynn Boyle was not the hottest girl in Twin Peaks. It was not. No, not Audrey Horne. Like Sherilyn Fenn.
I saw her in person at Comic-Con a few years ago.
She's still beautiful. She's still so fucking beautiful.
Yep.
But like I have the legitimate Playboy that had her in it and everything. Like Sherilyn Fenn is a fucking goddess, and Lara Flynn Boyle can eat the pustules off my fucking asshole. I don't give a shit. No way.
I'm not tribalistic. They're both beautiful women, but yeah, Sherilyn Fenn better looking in my opinion.
Oh gosh, she's so pretty.
How about no, you bastard? And I consider that to me, I'm like, oh, I know. I'm not going to air Josh's dirty laundry in our fights on fucking social media. Yeah. No. Does the exact fucking opposite. And then gets pissed off when Jessica Messica does the same thing to her. So they're saying how she don't watch Jessica Messica. Bullshit. I'm telling you, like, Jessica Messica and Jessica Boyle just need to les it out. They need to les it the fuck out.
He's hoping.
Don't think I saw Tomb Injection. No. Speaking of facelifts, you know who had the best facelifts ever? The Yellow Ranger.
Apparently, Jessica Boyle and her arch nemesis Jessica Messica used to be best buddies. But Messica was filming in rehab, and you're not supposed to do that, I guess. So Jessica Boyle got her kicked out of fucking rehab for that. And now they've been enemies ever since. And I'm like, who cares if she was filming her journey? You know? You prevented her from getting sober. You interfered with that. And the fact that Jessica used to be friends with Messica and shit makes you really think. It means I ain't gonna take what she says fucking seriously. And then on top of that, when she was here, you know what Jessica told me? She was like, show me how your shotgun works so I can blow my brains out. And I told Jessica, I'm not doing that shit. Knock it off. And then she wanted to talk about how she wanted to run into traffic and shit. But yeah, I'm the one acting like that, right? Mm-hmm. Fuck you. And then when Jessica gets so drunk on stream, she's passed out in her bathtub, and people are worried she's gonna fucking drown. She gets pissed off because she gets a wellness check. The bitch is fucking disconnected from reality, dude. And I'll tell you what, if she comes back to Casper again, she's not staying with me.
Really? I don't buy it.
No, I don't buy it either. I think he'll cave. I think he will fucking cave. I don't want him to. I don't want him to cave at all. I think he should stay strong. He should stand up.
Stand up.
And he should not just allow that fucking horrible swamp witch to get into his bed again, but
that
don't blow
fucking
smoke up our
harpy.
asses.
Having it.
Yeah, don't blow smoke up our asses about it, dude. Like, we're all on the same page here.
And if she doesn't leave, we'll call the cops and have her trespassed.
Should have done
Tired
that
of this
last time.
shit. Every fucking time she's come to visit me, it's been nothing but drama and fighting.
Oh yeah, go figure.
You just gotta listen.
You know
You just
what
gotta
she said
Sean
when she-
Connery this shit a little bit, all right? Just gotta Sean Connery it a little bit. She comes to your house like, Joshua, you're going to behave.
You
or
don't
else
know
I
when
might
to leave it alone.
I might have to choke you a little bit. Just throw you around the room.
I did see the thing where he bought her DoorDash after she got home, so he was still like sending her gifts and shit.
Yeah, he totally was. Yeah. Don't insult swamp witches like that. I am a swamp witch, so I can absolutely insult swamp witches as much as I fucking want. All right?
Left.
Just listen.
Next time will be better, I swear. It's like, bitch. No, I won't, because we broke up. That's completely unfair to me,
Don't
dude.
pick on harpies. At least they can attract men with their amazing singing voice. I almost got killed by some trying to rescue a little tiefling kid.
Oh damn.
That's very fair. Also, if there are any What We Do in the Shadows fans out there, every time somebody now says harpies, you know what I'm thinking of, and it's I may be a swamp witch, but I'm one of the good ones. True, that's very true. I'm not interested in meth. Just bones. Lots of bones. That's
Pick
kinda
up with
like my
somebody,
thing.
you'll just show up to their fucking house.
Big
That's
bone
fucking
guy.
stalker shit, dude. If it was if I were doing that crap to one of my ex-crushes or ex-girlfriends, my ass would be in jail for stalking. The fuck out of here, dude.
Get the fuck out of here, dog.
And circling back to this bitch right here, the only reason she's saying this crap is because she ain't getting any dick. And what do women do? What do women do when they don't get dick? They will give clueless men shitty advice on how to pick up women on purpose so that women reject them because they're insecure with themselves.
Mm.
And I'm like, that's kind of shitty, dude. So, like, you know how you talk to women like you talk to yourself. You treat women like they're human beings. It's not that difficult. Treat others the way you want to be treated. It's the golden fucking rule.
Probably Boneman. You know.
First choice and keep that person as backup. Women, I don't.
Women do not keep friend zone dudes as backups. That is bullshit. If you're friend zoned, it ain't gonna happen, slick. And by the time she comes around and realizes, that's a decent guy over there. I should have given them a chance, kind of thing.
Remember
That dude's pulling
Saunders?
Pussy way fucking harder, dude.
Remember Saunders?
Care, do what you want.
Famous on YouTube now.
But please do not go be a prostitute and find God at 29. I'm going to be irritated. I'm going to be
Who the fuck are you to judge?
annoyed, and I'm not going to believe you.
Like you recently found God, right? What? And you're 29.
And?
I think.
And no one's buying her bullshit. And come back to that stream here in a second.
Huh.
Huh.
So, guys, if you get information from a woman on how to pick up chicks, be sure to talk to women you trust about that information before you apply it. Because women are cunts like that.
Whoa, buddy. Saunders is having some trouble these days, man. You heard about Saunders?
So like when Jessica, my ex, stands up for herself against Jessica Messica, it's not a shitty video. But when I stand up to her and I don't take any of her crap and I speak my side of the fucking story, it's a shitty video. Fuck off, dude.
Fuck off.
Fuck off, dude. Fuck off, dude. God.
Damn, dude.
Fuck off, dude.
You know, I heard earlier Rev and Shanny were trying to like react to the debate, but for whatever reason it didn't last, and the video's private now. So I don't know if one of the archive channels grabbed it or what, but it's not around anymore.
That's a bummer.
Yeah,
I would have loved to have watched that.
I would have loved to also, but I didn't want to interrupt the actual debate. So
I guess, yeah, I guess that's fair. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I do have some Jared though. Here he is.
What's up, guys? Another rant video. My apologies. It's just I don't really know what else to do on this channel.
I thought this was a fitness channel.
I do have some good news for you guys though. Been working on my drums today. I was hoping I could actually bust a drum video out, but it just didn't happen.
Why did it not happen?
Because I took so much goddamn time having to retune them.
Whatever.
And move things around because I switched thrones. I'm sitting on my drum throne now, if you guys didn't notice. I'm no longer on
How would we notice? We can't see it.
Kitchen chair. It's much more comfortable. So I had to adjust anyways. Enough of that bullshit.
13.
So today, I just wanted to share this with you guys to help you all be aware that steroids are stupid. You know, just another fucking after-school special here for all you motherfuckers who think that gear, doing gear is okay. Another bodybuilder died. And everyone saw this coming, bro, with this fucking guy, dude. He was a 5%er, you know what I'm saying? He was on Rich Piana's team. This was after Piana died. I don't think Piana ever really knew this guy, but what? Holy shit, was he big though? My lord, dude. I mean, this guy literally probably like ate steroids for breakfast, like rah, rah, rah. You know, he probably sprinkled like PEDs on his fucking steak. You know, what did you expect, dude? You're dead now. You're fucking in the ground. And I'll tell you something else. Your soul is rotting in hell. Because I know that little ugly, disgusting demon god you had on your arm, the Baphomet, as I like to call him.
The Baphomet?
AKA the Baphomet.
Jared could use some Ozempic. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that, dude.
This ugly little demon god with man titties. Who people sell their soul to. So yeah, I don't feel bad for this guy. He's rotting in hell now where he belongs. When you sell your soul to evil, I do not pity you. I don't. And I'm just going to say that honestly, I'm glad he's gone. I really am. I think he's just a pathetic person.
I don't pity
you know what I mean? To sell your soul just so you could have 36 years of a good life, and now Satan owns your soul for eternity.
Jessica watched
Ask yourself this.
But didn't understand the cowboy with the black hat was the bad guy. Honestly, I understand why Cobes did what he did.
Wait. She didn't understand the wait. She didn't understand what?
She didn't understand that the guy with the black hat was the bad guy, which is like a staple of westerns.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
she's dumb.
No, well, okay, but here's the thing though. Dumb can be hot.
Sure, she's not hot either. She's not nice either. If she was like, she could like she could be like have just like one of those qualities. She could be smart and not like hot or not. Yeah, go ahead.
Or nice. Yeah. She could be smart, but maybe not nice or hot. But like you're like, wow, I just really like your brain. Or she could be nice, but not hot and not smart. But like, I really think you're nice. Or she could be hot, but not smart or nice. But at least she's hot. I get it. I totally get it. She is a triple threat of just suck. I get what you're saying, dude. I get what you're saying.
One question, buddy. Was it worth it? No, it was not. No, it was not. So yeah, I don't even want to say this guy's name. I don't even want to give him recognition, really. I know it does probably help the algorithm, but I'll just link the video. I just don't even want to give this guy much attention. I truly did find him quite disgusting. You know what I mean? This is someone who literally sold his soul to the devil, okay? The Baphomet was an evil, disgusting little fucking, you know,
was a goat.
Weird ass goat transformer. We'll just say that. I don't want to get in trouble, okay? And that's what all these SJW tards worship, is that fucking demon god right there. And among others, but he's a popular one. Baal is another popular one. I don't even like speaking their names either, but it's important to, you know, understand this kind of history. And unfortunately, we live in a satanic world. The world is ruled by the devil. This world belongs to Lucifag. You know what I mean? This world also sucks. You can have this world, little Lucy. I sure as fuck don't want it. I cannot stand society. I hate society. I keep to myself. You know what I mean? That's why I'm proud to be MGTOW, bro. I'm a MGTOW monk. I don't fuck around with nobody, bro.
He's a MGTOW monk.
And I just keep to myself, and that's what I do, bro. I'm so glad that I'm canceled. Because I wouldn't even...
I actually wanted to be canceled, bro. Thanks.
Really want to be popular in this world. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers on here thinking that I'm trying to be like 100 sub PewDiePies. Fuck that garbage, dude. YouTube sucks to begin with. I mean, it would be funny as a troll. BG Cumby, I have to give it to that guy. I would say that's probably the most successful troll I've ever seen on YouTube. He actually got 100,000.
Hang on. Pause it. Is he putting the name BJ Cumby in his fucking mouth right now?
He says he doesn't want to say because he's going to get in trouble. His dad's going to take away the internet if he gets any louder.
You're probably right. You're probably right. Listen, BJ Cumby is not on the fucking same level. This motherfucker needs to keep BJ Cumby out of his fucking mouth. I met BJ Cumby, and that dude's on a next fucking level. He is like the most autistic, bizarre motherfucker I've ever met in my life. He's pretty great. He's pretty fucking rad.
1,000 fucking views, bro. He even got the plaque. The motherfucker. I don't think they sent it to him, but they were going to or some shit. I remember he made a video on that. But yeah, dude. Shout outs to the Cumby. Love that fucking guy, man. Magical mullet too on that dude.
God, I hate
Cumby is a prime example of a beautiful man. He's a red-pilled incel, and that it doesn't get any more beautiful than that, bro.
He is really not. Doesn't. Oh my god, that he is. It's a troll.
He's a red-pilled incel, bro.
No, dude, it's a troll. He's fucking troll. Oh my god. Oh my god, Jared, you fucking dipshit. You fucking idiot. Oh my god.
Because when you're an incel, that says you don't sell your soul to this fucked up world.
Is that what it means? I thought it meant you want to get laid, but you can't.
Yeah, that's what it means.
I thought that's what it meant.
To me, the word incel isn't necessarily limited to just, involuntary celibate.
Because you want to believe it's something else, because you don't want to believe you're one of those. It's very strange.
I think there are incels that even get laid, but it's just people.
No, that's by definition can't be the case.
Yeah, no, if you are an incel and then you get laid, you're not an incel anymore. Like, what the fuck?
Who aren't part of the popular kids club. We'll just say it like that, bro. But I'm a MGTOW monk. I mean, I'm fucking 40 now. I don't think I can really call
You're not 40, by the way. He's not even 39 yet. He's been saying he's 40 for like 3 years now.
Myself an incel anymore, as much as I would love to, because I love that word. You know what I mean? Incel is the new punk rock, bro. Just like
I thought Jesus was the new punk rock.
Cumby said it's the new rock and roll side. It means you're not a simp. Incel is internet celebrity. That's what it stands for, baby. You know what I'm saying? Law cow, motherfucker. Law llama up in this bitch. Law cowboy. Yes, I have names for myself. Yes, I have no life. I understand that.
We
as well.
know that.
But anyways, I like Law Llama. I think I'll stick with that one. Law Cowboy is good, but I'd rather be a llama. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much what I got on this video.
This is the end of the video. Oh, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, bro, except don't use gear, kids. If you don't, I want to say something. I don't know if I should, but I'll just fucking say it anyway. Okay.
Oh.
If you use gear, bro, it'll turn you to a... well, you know the rest. Queer. There you go, kids. I gotta be careful here. I'm just about to strike some channels. I don't want to risk that. So
He's about to, so pretty soon I'll get a bunch of false strikes for laughing at his dumb ass.
Anyways, guys.
Yeah, this is almost done, right? Finish this out, and then I got something interesting to say.
That's what I got for you on this one. Peace.
Peace. Okay, so we were talking about this. It's like 3 weeks ago, or something like that. We were talking about pop culture and the elections and that sort of thing, and we were both mentioning that if Taylor Swift just straight out came out and endorsed Kamala, like it would probably be a pretty substantial fucking thing. And she just did. She literally just did. She just did. Yeah. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like 4 paragraphs.
Is it a tweet or what?
She put it on her Instagram. Like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. If you haven't already, now is a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances these candidates take on the topics that matter to you most. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about the proposed policies and plans for this country. Recently, I was made aware that AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run was posted to his site. It really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. It brought me to the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter. Simplest way to combat misinformation is with the truth. I'll be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election. I'm voting for Kamala because she fights for the rights and causes I believe I need a warrior to champion them. I think she's a steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we're led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz, who's been standing up for LGBTQ plus rights, IVF, and women's right to her own body for decades. I've done my research and I've made my choice. Your research is all yours to do, and the choice is yours to make. I also want to say, especially to first-time voters, remember that in order to vote, you have to be registered. I also find it's much easier to vote early. I'll link where to register and find early voting dates and info in my story.
There you go. That's a big thing because a bunch of people are going to register.
Yeah. With love and hope, Taylor Swift, childless cat lady.
There you have it.
Like, okay. All right. Yeah, that's pretty fucking clear, man. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts.
Did you see the Melania Trump thing that just came out too?
No, I haven't seen that.
Where she's questioning the official story of the assassination attempt.
Who said that? Kamala?
Melania Trump.
Melania? What?
Yeah. Here. I think I have a video. I think I have the video here.
What the fuck?
The attempt to end my husband's life was a horrible, distressing experience. Now, the silence around it feels heavy. I can't help but wonder, why didn't law enforcement officials arrest the shooter before the speech? There is definitely more to this story, and we need to uncover the truth.
It's a book, I guess. I don't know.
What the fuck?
Yep.
What the fuck? What the fuck is it? No, that's fake.
That's real. It's directly from her Twitter.
Way. No way, dude. Really?
Yes.
What the fucking crazy ass deep fake AI shit was
It's
that? What the
real.
fuck?
It's on her Twitter.
Oh my fucking god, dude. What the fuck world do we live in right now?
She's selling this book, I guess it is. I don't know. Like, here it is right here. See? Pre-order now.
I'm fucked over this whole thing.
It's her memoir, it looks like.
Fuck this gay earth, dude. Fuck this stupid ass gay
So
earth.
you can get the regular memoir for $40. You can get the signed memoir for $75, and you can get the collector's edition for $250.
Wow. I thought it was AI too. I thought.
Nope. It's real.
I'm having trouble, Ben. I'm having some fucking trouble right now. This is not the night I should have been drinking. Oh my fucking god. Oh no.
You doing all right?
God. Yeah, I'm all right. Just don't ask me if I smell almonds. I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, that almost took me out.
Yeah, it's all right.
Do you smell almonds? All right. Help us get to 50%, please. Please.
Yeah, 50. And this is important. I should probably mention. So, DP fam, you know I love you. I love you so much. This is my last appearance on the show for a while because I'm going on tour. I'm going on motorcycle tour to Las Vegas, to all the canyons around southern Utah, Grand Canyon, back to Vegas, over to San Francisco, and then also back to Vegas. So I'm going to be on the road for like a long time. This is my last chance to be on DP for probably 3 or 4 weeks. You probably have gotten a little tired of me because I was insistent to be here with you because I love you so fucking much. Yeah, if you want to make tonight special, if you live in Vegas or in San Francisco and you want to hang out and get a beer or something, send me an email, jeff@jeffholiday.com. And it'd be dope. And I'll miss you guys. I'll miss you so much. That's it. That's all. Did he go pee? Well, now it's weird. Now it's weird. Now I guess it's strange. We'll never tire of you. Oh, geez. That's not necessarily true. I will say I can overstay my welcome. That's very true. Very, very true. Like anything, you know. Frozen almond joys are my favorite acid snack. That's a pretty good acid snack. I can't really eat when I'm on acid, though. It's not really my thing. You will have to bring the doggo back on camera again. Okay. Penny. It's got a very specific summoning whistle. There she is. There's my girl. Come here, baby. Come here. Oh God. Oh God, don't lick me. Don't lick me. Oh. Penny. Best girl ever. How do I don't think there's an easy way to turn off the green screen thing from Ben's side. You're licking me. You're licking me. Oh, you know what we could do? Here. I know what we can do. Hang on, I got this. Hang on. Bam. There we go. Look at this girl. Look at this little puppy. Do you see? Penny. What you doing? And now the truth is revealed. My studio is in my garage. Yeah. My terrible, terrible garage. Oh my God. You're such a fat puppy. You're so fat. How are you so fat? My name is Penny. Good dog. Very good girl. Very good girl. It's a dungeon. It's kind of like a dungeon. A little bit. A little bit. It's not too bad, though. It's all right. You know what it is? So the studio is... this is like a long, long time ago. The studio is a response to... me having the kind of... I have a mentality of like... Everybody needs a space, right? A creative space. And so Memory likes to make her own very comfy spaces in her own way. And I am a tech nerd. I'm a tech nerd, and I like to have a place where I can just like build shit and manipulate shit and like whatever projects that I want. Like I need a space that I can fucking do it in. That's why I have like a motorcycle shop built out of a carport in my backyard. That's why I have like my little thing here with my studio space in the garage. That way, Memory can have her fancy mid-century modern furniture all over the house and like, you know, crazy shit all over the place. So I like voluntarily sequester myself into like these spaces throughout the house. And I just kind of make them my own. They're not like a man cave. They're more like a bat lair for a nerd. Yeah. yeah. It's pretty nuts. Every now and then, a Jeff cave. Yeah, sure, a Jeff cave. Every now and then, I'll like get really squirrely and I'll go climbing up into the attic and I'll drag down my giant boxes of old comic books and I'll sit there and sometimes I've done it before. I'll put up like a really small tent in the middle of my fucking studio, and I'll sit there like I used to do when I was a kid, and by like lantern light, just read old fucking X-Men comic books. Because I want to. Because I just fucking want to, you know? No other reason. I like being able to do that.
You should do that with the Neverending Story and change your name to Bastion. Yeah.
Bastion, give me a name, Bastion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like to party.
Oh, we have this. Hold on. We have
Hey,
this.
folks, it's Patriot Nurse. What is the real reason that the Democrats picked Tim Walz to run as VP for Kamala Harris? The answer may shock you. Let's get started.
This video is so fire. This video is fucking fire as shit. I love it.
The Patriot Nurse. I know I've seen her before.
So, folks, I'm out here in the garden today, working, sweating, taking a moment to sit down and catch some shade, and I wanted to share with you what I've been thinking about and really what's on my heart, because we got some serious stuff coming our way. So, friends, Kamala, the commie-in-chief, or at least the aspiring commie-in-chief, she decided that she was going to choose not a moderate, not someone who would balance the ticket, so to speak, but someone who is absolutely freaking insane leftist. The combination, I think Jesse Waters called him a combination between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders and the true Walz. So,
if Jesse Waters said that.
They do this, and what is really going on, and what can we expect from the election? So in a video that I made a few weeks ago, I said that Kamala was going to be their pick, and most likely one of the reasons is because they knew they weren't going to win in a fair and honest election with Donald Trump, that they couldn't win.
What?
So if you know that you're not going to win and you're not going to cheat your way within 2 to 3 percentage points, and it would be too overt to try and take it by force with the votes being stolen, then what are you going to do? Well, the thing is, friends, at this point, they know that they can't win in a fair election against Donald Trump. They're not going to somehow get the presidency legitimately. So what are they going to do? They're going to, and I said this in previous video, they are going to pick someone who is going to energize their base. Now, Kamala, of course, would energize their base, right? She's the estrogen vote. Well, why would they pick someone like Walz?
She is incredibly stupid.
She's the estrogen vote, you know? Estrogen vote. Sure.
I would not want this person caring for me at a medical facility. Now I'm going to be looking at every nurse I see like,
Is a hardcore leftist who is like an overt socialist, and someone who has made, I don't know how many trips to a communist dictatorship to try and learn effectively how things are done. Why him?
I love dictators.
Let me ask you a question. If you know that you're not going to win and you're not going to balance your ticket with a moderate and you double down on the hardcore progressives, what are you hoping to get out of that? You're hoping to get the base energized. So let's be clear about this. If you know someone who's voting Democrat, they are voting to mutilate.
By the way, as was demonstrated earlier, Trump simps hard for the Chinese government, the leaders of the Chinese government.
Hardcore.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Children. They're voting for complete slaughter and takedown of the innocent. They are voting for the undermining of everything that this nation is built upon. So when you've got the blue-haired woke weirdos now that are energized, what happens if they win and what happens if they lose? Because when you energize a base, particularly one as mentally deranged as the people who are going to show up and vote for people like Kamala and Wolf, these are not stable people mentally. These are not people who have accomplished anything in their life. What are they capable of? They showed you Wolf's own home state. They showed you with burning down cities.
Isn't Taylor Swift one of those people? Pretty sure she's accomplished a lot in her life.
She's a DEI hire.
Oh. What, the blonde white girl?
Yeah, she's a DEI. She's a Duolingo hire.
Oh.
They showed you with showing up and screeching to the top of their lungs and essentially destroying property of innocent people.
Essentially.
What happens if people like that lose? Do you think that they're going to somehow summon hitherto unknown values of self-discipline and restraint?
Hitherto.
They're planning on this. They are planning on using that base, that galvanized, crazed mob that likes to destroy things and break things. Like, this is why we can't have nice stuff. That's who they're going to get to show up.
Huh?
So the question is, Donald Trump wins the election. What are they going to do? Now, Raskin has already effectively signaled what they're planning to do in this country. This actually behooves us to prepare, and I'm going to open that up a little bit more. Raskin has already signaled to you that they are expecting civil war and that they are also expecting to invoke clauses of the Constitution incorrectly, applying them to Trump.
What can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified, and then we need bodyguards for everybody and civil war conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means.
They are going to try and take this nation down one way or the other. And there's no other reason behind it. Some people said that Obama is part of this, and that Obama is running things. Yeah, maybe, but
that's such a weird conspiracy theory.
This thing is so much bigger than him. Look
it's
at what's
the black one. He's still in power sacredly.
On internationally right now and how this plays into things, and you'll understand very quickly. The world is about to be engulfed in fire.
Fire.
The reason why Raskin and his little demon minions and why the full tilt retard woke left are getting energized right now is because they're doing the bidding of people who are going to capitalize on the world burning. There's a lot of money to be made in the breakdown of societies. There's a lot of capital that's aggregated when people panic and they sell for pennies on the dollar. When real estate is reduced from buildings to cinders, it's a cheap buy for people who have cash on hand. And so when you look at the why behind things, The world is about to go through a major overturning of systems and a rocking of pretty much every previously reasonably sound system of government into anarchy and a breakdown. And this anarchy is not from people on the streets per se. This is directed from the top down.
Per se, bud.
In order for
these
very powerful people to capitalize on the breakdown of rule of law and really of the dissolution of representative
Get back to your yard work. You don't know what you're talking about.
forms of government. In order for them to capitalize at the United States.
Go take people's blood pressure and their temperature and draw blood and give them a that. Oh, I wonder if is she a nurse that she won't give people vaccines because she's a patriot nurse?
Yes. Actually,
how does she keep her job then?
I don't know. I don't actually know, to be honest with you.
It's gonna have to have its hands.
I have not paid that much attention to her.
So that's what they're planning. In order for them to consolidate their power and for other countries to make major moves for this next turning, they need us busy, they need us distracted, and then they need us so consumed with domestic turmoil that we as the United States don't have the ability to throw our weight around internationally, whether it's in China, Russia, Middle East. In order for the powers that be to get their way, they got to have people scrambling. So this
talks about it like it's one place.
The dictating behind who Kamala picks. The fact that Kamala is now running as president on the Democrat Party platform ticket without a single vote being cast for her. This is no less than a coup. And
it's not even close to a coup.
Treacherous.
January 6th was closer to a coup.
True, very true. But you know what? Facts don't care about your feelings. Wait, no, feelings don't care about your facts, Ben. So it's a coup. It's a coup.
Okay.
Breakdown of our electoral system. The whole system itself has been rather of a facade for some time, but the very fact that you would have so many people, and I don't believe that it's numerically half of the population of the United States, but the very fact that you'd have so many people beating the drum and chanting her name, having no democratic process to put her in power, and actually having an oligarchic appointed position that she's had, this shows...
Yeah, and meanwhile, this person will still argue in favor of the Electoral College.
True.
But
true.
But primaries have to be this like perfectly democratic election.
Right. It has to be the will of the people, at least until we can game the system so that the guy that we want to get in gets in.
That's the only way their guy wins. He's not going to win the popular vote.
No. I don't. After tonight, I'm feeling kind of confident.
We'll see.
We'll see. I don't want to jinx it. You know
it's still a few months away.
Yeah, lots of stuff can happen. We're still waiting for that October surprise, you know?
Yeah.
How very dangerous that these people are. The people who put Kamala in power are treasonous thugs.
There was supposed to be a surprise.
Desperate to claim swapping Joe for Kamala was a coup. Literally no Democrat I know is mad about Joe Biden dropping out.
Nope. We were settling for Biden. And I'm still settling for Kamala. She's just a way better choice. We just compare the two debates that we've had this year. You know,
all right. It's important that we point out that when we're talking about who's going to be the president, what we have to work with, right? Like, we can't just be like, oh, okay, well, there's a really cool candidate that we like and we think might be pretty, like Big Gretch. I love Big Gretch. Gretchen Whitmer is fucking rad. Good.
She didn't even want to run.
She didn't even want to run for one part, but also like she's not running, right? So you have to choose. You have to choose between very specific options or third party, which is stupid. It shouldn't be, but it is. It is actually demonstrably fucking stupid to give your vote to a third party. You have to do what you have to do. You have to make the choice based on what people give you. And Kamala is a cop and a warmongering pro-genocide Israel supporter, Zionism supporter, not Israel, Zionism supporter. And she's still vastly better and way more preferable than what we otherwise have to deal with. It's as simple as that. The choice of the presidency has never been choosing who you really want. It's choosing who you want more than the worst option. And it's always been that way. It's been that way for like 200 years. So it's
and the country's what, like 250 years old or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like back, in the earlier days, everything was kind of up for grabs and people didn't really know what was going on. But like, yeah, giant douche or turd sandwich? No. No. I wouldn't say Kamala and Trump are like a giant douche and a turd sandwich. Hillary and Trump, but only because we didn't know how bad Trump would be. That was a giant douche or a turd sandwich. I would agree with that.
Trump lived up to the expectations that I had for him. Absolutely.
Yeah. I had a little bit of hope, and I thought maybe he wouldn't be terrible.
I knew he was going to be like. I hoped he wouldn't be as terrible as I thought he probably would be.
Right. So voting Kamala versus Trump, like voting Trump versus Kamala, is like voting for either a turd sandwich or a kind of stale peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? Like, would you rather eat literally poop between bread or just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that's like just a little stale and kind of like off? Like, you're not really going to enjoy it, but it's not bad, right? Like, that's pretty fair.
They have subverted the system that we have, the electoral process, to provide the people a voice, and they have appointed someone in. This is treasonous. This is an attempt to not only undermine our constitutional republic, but this is
Nobody cares,
a complete and total takeover of the rule of law and the ability of people to exercise any type of sway over who represents them. I'm not surprised it came from the Democrats, but friends, they are going to energize.
I mean, Trump didn't even participate in the debates in the primary process. He pretty much was pretty much ordained the candidate.
That's a good point. Yeah, he didn't have to debate. He refused to show up for the Republican debates.
Part of the reason why they allowed that is because they knew that if they didn't allow Trump to have the nomination, he would have just ran independently and he would have stolen a ton of their votes from whoever they would have picked.
Yeah, I mean, he basically he's had them hijacked for fucking years.
Yeah, his daughter-in-law is like one of the chair people of the Republican Party.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you
Eric Trump's wife.
If you want to talk about a fucking literal coup, it's what the Trump family has done to the Republican Party. Like, they have fucking overthrown that shit. Like, God, it's so dumb.
Yeah, that's why you have Dick Cheney voting for a Democrat. It took that.
Mm-hmm.
Their base.
Fucking crazy.
They're going to get violent regardless of who wins. And so I'm planning on that. And
Are you serious, dude? I do want to point out that there was a massive ammo shortage when Obama first became president because the fucking wackos were buying up all the ammo just in case they needed to overthrow the government because the black guy was in the White House now.
Yeah, I'll agree, but like anytime something wild happens with Trump or some shit, I go to the store and I buy more ammo. Algarat says voting on the two-party system is to maintain the status quo. Vote third party, you bootlicking Jeff. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But look, it comes down to like a certain question that you have to ask yourself. And I know you're just like trolling and everything, but I'm gonna answer that sincerely. It comes down to a really, really super simple, basic question that everybody has to ask themselves. Are your principles in this performative gesture that you're going to make in this otherwise wildly and vastly rigged fucking system, is your performative action worth more to you, because it's not worth anything to anybody else, than actively trying to fight back against something that can hurt people, right? I don't like it. I don't like that we have a two-party system. I think it's fucked. I think it's absolutely fucked. And I very strongly feel about that. And if it weren't for the fact that there was so much at risk, I would also do a protest vote. Or just not vote. Or whatever. I would be with you 100%. But we are actually at an existential precipice. We weren't in 2016. Well, we kind of were, but we didn't know that we were. We are absolutely now. Because now we know. We're hijacked by it. And you can get mad about it. But get mad about it after you vote against Trump, right? Just do that. That's what I'm going to do. I hope that makes sense.
In the weird scenario I talked about earlier, that would have been a scenario where if the Republicans that didn't like Trump kept him out of being their candidate, and they picked DeSantis or whoever, and Trump just ran independently, that would be a scenario where a third-party candidate could win, or an independent candidate. Like, Trump could have won that.
Sure.
But in most cases, it's not. I mean, like, I'll wait until we see, like, some significant polling. You know what I mean? That a third-party candidate is, like, polling even, like, 20% nationally or something like that.
Right. If we had ranked choice voting, then the possibility of breaking the two-party system would be a lot more viable. And I am in support of that. I'm in support of ranked choice voting. I think that's a good idea. I think it's great. I think we as a people deserve more options. We absolutely do. I think we have a dysfunctional relationship with our politicians and the people that govern us. We see them as kings and queens, whereas really they should be people working for us. I don't like that. Honest Red has been telling us you are voting green for a few weeks now. Honest Red's a piece of shit. Is that true? You're just trying to stir up shit. So
I don't know if he said that, but he's something.
Does he like?
He's voting for Jill Stein.
I'm okay. I want everybody to vote for Kamala because I don't want Trump to win. But if your conviction, with everything that I've said tonight, if your conviction still compels you to vote for Jill Stein or Cornel West or whoever, or Vermin Supreme, based. Vote however you want, right? Just vote however you want. That's all that matters. It's your choice. You have absolute full autonomy to do whatever you want. I've made my choice. That's all there is to it.
Have you seen this guy who's predicted? I don't know if he's 100% right on every election, but he's got like a 98% prediction for each election correctly. And okay. he doesn't use polling or anything. He has, I think he calls them the 5 keys, and he uses those to determine it. It's kind of cool. This
There's
video
a lot
explains
of
it.
hoopla about age these days.
But not for me.
See that guy in the red shirt? That's Alan Lichtman, 77-year-old Alan Lichtman. And he's racing in the qualifiers for the Senior Olympics. But there's another kind of race Alan's just as qualified for.
Alan Lichtman.
Alan Lichtman.
Professor Alan Lichtman, who has correctly predicted almost every presidential election since 1984.
And today, Alan Lichtman's ready to tell us who's going to win in 2024. You see, you may think Alan's just a jock.
Well, I was a steeplechase champion in the 1970s.
Whoa, he was ripped.
His name is Dr. Alan Lichtman.
But he's actually kind of a nerd, a history professor, and a quiz show champion. These days, he's on a different kind of winning streak. To make his presidential predictions, Alan's model ignores the polls and the pundits.
It hinges on 13 keys that I developed in 1981 with my geophysicist friend, Vladimir Sporok. It's based on 120 years of presidential election outcomes before then.
Told you.
It's really interesting.
He's a nerd. Alan's model was one of the few that called it for Trump in 2016.
Donald Trump is going to win.
And in 2020, Alan got it right again.
Trump will lose the White House. The race was tight, but the keys were right.
So let's get to how these keys actually work.
They are 13 big picture, true, false questions that tap into the strength and performance of the White House party. And only 2 keys have anything to do with the candidates.
But Alan, 2024 is an unprecedented election year. Can your 13 keys really call it right?
The keys absolutely will work. They are the constant northern star of political prediction.
All right, time to run these keys and find out who will be the next president of the United States, according to Alan.
But first, let me change into something a little more comfortable.
Number 1, the White House party gained House seats between midterm elections.
The Democrats did better than expected in 2022, but they still lost House seats, so the key is false.
Remember, a false key is good for Trump. Number 2, the incumbency key. The sitting president is running for re-election.
Biden withdrew from the race, costing the Democrats this key. It is false.
Wait, you're saying it would have helped the Democrats if Biden stayed in?
If Biden stayed in, they would have salvaged this one key. That's all.
Okay. Moving on for now. Number 3, the White House party avoided a primary contest.
The Democrats finally got smart and united overwhelmingly behind Vice President Harris. So the key is true.
A true key. That moves Harris off the starting block. Number 4, there's no third-party challenger.
RFK Jr. has dropped out of the race, and no other third-party candidate is anywhere close to the 10% polling threshold needed to turn this key. It's true.
4 keys in, and it's neck and neck. Let's keep going. Number 5, the short-term economy is strong.
Look, despite all the loose talk about a so-called vibe session, the economy is not in recession, so this key is true.
Number 6, long-term economic growth during this presidential term has been at least as good as the last 2 terms.
Growth during the Biden term is far ahead of growth during the previous 2 terms, so this key is clearly true.
Number 7, the White House has made major changes to national policy.
Rejoining the Paris Accords on climate change, the CHIPS bill, the infrastructure bill, the Inflation Reduction and Climate Change bill. Clearly, the key is true.
Number 8, there is no sustained social unrest during the term.
There have been sporadic protests, but nothing approaching the massive, sustained social unrest needed to turn this key. So it's true.
But schools are just going back to session. With new protests, couldn't this key flip?
Yes, there are a lot of protesters upset with Biden's policies in the Middle East. But now with Harris, not Biden, front and center, that has dampened social unrest.
Number 9, the White House is untainted by scandal.
Oh, my favorite key, the scandal key. And Republicans have been trying for years to pin a scandal on President Biden and come up empty. So the key is true.
But come on, Alan. Biden's horrific debate.
I should mention something. I want to mention something real quick here. Like we talked last episode about like the Russian collusion and Dave Rubin and Tim Pool. They all of them combined got more money from Russia than Hunter Biden got from Burisma. Just pointing that out.
Good point.
Pointing that out.
Questions about his age? Hunter Biden? Doesn't any of that count?
No. There has to be at least some bipartisan recognition of actual corruption that implicates the president himself and not a family member. So the key remains true.
So 2 false and 7 true so far. Looking pretty good for the Democrats. We have 4 keys left, all of which would have to be false for Trump to have a path. Number 10, the incumbent party candidate is charismatic.
This is a very high threshold key. You have to be a once-in-a-generational, broadly inspirational candidate. Harris has not met that standard, so this key is false.
Number 11. The challenger is uncharismatic.
Some people think Donald Trump is a god, but he only appeals to a narrow base, so that key is true.
But wait, that means...
The Democrats will hold on to the White House, and Kamala Harris will be the next president of the United States.
But wait a sec, Alan. We still have 2 keys left. The foreign policy keys?
You're right. Foreign policy is tricky, and these keys could flip. The Biden administration is deeply invested in the war in Gaza, which is a humanitarian disaster with no end in sight. But even if both foreign policy keys flipped false, that would mean that there were only 5 negative keys, which would not be enough for Donald Trump to regain the White House.
So I guess that means you're standing by your prediction.
Kamala Harris will be the next president of the United States. At least that's my prediction for this race. But the outcome is up to you, so get out and vote.
Well, I guess that settles that race.
I need that haircut.
But what about the one we started with?
Well, I won some medals, I didn't get hurt, and I qualified for the 2025 National Senior Olympics. Not bad for a 77-year-old, huh?
Yeah, so that guy predicted Kamala, and he predicted Trump would lose last time, and he predicted Trump would win the time before. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna listen to Bull Cut. You know, like I'm very confident.
Bull Cut,
and I really want this fucking Marvel vs. Capcom fighting collection. God fucking damn.
What is it on?
Steam.
So it has Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on it.
So it's a remaster of X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes, and then Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes, remastered.
Ooh.
And also, yeah, the best one. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, one of the best video games of all fucking time.
I love it. So it's in that? It's in that pack?
It's in that, yeah. It's all remastered. It's all like online.
Is there online play? Yes, you can play online. Dude,
online play.
I'm sold. I'm sold. I'll get it too.
So into this, dude, I'm so into this. I don't have any money until I'm back from tour, but it releases literally tomorrow. $50 fucking bucks.
Oh my god, it's $50. I hate how to pay.
I know, dude. I know. But it's like it's one of those things like. So there are so few games out there that I think are perfect games. Like
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is one of them.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, right? That's a perfect game. Castlevania Symphony of Night, one of the great, maybe in the top 3 games ever fucking made. Marvel vs. Capcom #2 is single-handedly the greatest fighting game ever fucking made.
It's my favorite.
It's mine too.
Yeah.
Just past that is probably Soul Calibur 2 or 3. Maybe.
Nightmare.
One of those. Yeah, man. Dude, I fucking love Soul Calibur. Oh my god. Oh god, I fucking
Did you ever
love
play
Soul
Soul's Edge?
Yeah, the OG, the original one. Yeah. Of course. Oh my god. I have one of the things that's always been like a problem, okay? This is a very big problem that I have. I have so many old video games. Inside my attic right now, I have a massive collection of old video games. Everything from like OG NES systems all the way up to like PlayStation 3 and Xbox.
Damn,
and all that
you should get a table at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
I know, and I've always wanted to. And at one point, I was living in this house. I would go and I would salvage old TVs that people were just getting rid of. And in this basement of this house, I had all of them set up with gaming systems so I could play whatever old OG fucking retro gaming that I wanted to. And you know what happened, Ben?
What?
Nobody fucking played video games with me because none of my friends wanted to play video games. And I was so fucking depressed. I'd sit down there all fucking night, getting drunk, smoking weed, and just playing games by myself, being like, "Why does everybody fucking suck?"
I'm going to take you for a ride.
I know. Take it for a ride. I had a DDR set up in that basement with like two pads set up next to each other, so I could fucking like.
You were playing DDR in the video that I put out.
I know.
Yeah.
I love DDR. My favorite Soul Calibur girl is Amy. Amy is the bomb. Amy is cheat mode for fucking Soul Calibur. She's dope as fuck. I'm literally just a cool version of King Cobra. Maybe.
Are you saying King Cobra's not cool? What?
You know what? If King Cobra lived in the Pacific Northwest, I think we could make him cool.
I wanted him to come out here so bad because I knew it would be insane.
It would be incredible.
Oh my
Absolutely
God,
incredible.
Cobra just dropped a video and it's 30 seconds long and the title of it is To My Ex.
Oh God, play it.
All right, let's see.
Oh no.
Here it is.
To say to Jessica Boyle, she called the cops on me again and nothing happened because the cop was on my side. Hey Jessica, I would never call the cops on you for anything unless you were trying to hurt yourself or somebody else. Cop calling is such pussy shits. And it didn't work, so I don't know what your little plan was, but it didn't work. So, guess what? Don't fuck with King Cobra.
Yeah!
Yeah, dude. Fuck you, Jessica Boyle. Fucking cop collar.
Cop collar.
Fuck. All right, I gotta get some orange juice in this drink or I'm gonna get in trouble.
All right. Please like the stream, and if anyone wants to help us get to 50%, that would be sweet. Do us a favor. Help us get to 50%. 50% of the goal. Let's do it. Oh, God. Oh. Holy shit. I got the yawns. Trump is on CNN now claiming he won the debate. Oh, my God. I guess I'll watch a clip of that when that gets released.
I guess she's
Yes!
in the room to tempt him right now.
Exactly. There we go. We're at 44%. Help us get to that solid 50%. I haven't verified this.
I heard you yawning.
Huh?
I heard you yawning.
Yeah. I didn't verify this, but someone just claimed that Trump was on CNN claiming he won. I don't know if that's true, but...
Oh my God. Okay.
You bitch, your sexy goth bad boy, King Cobra, JFS. We back like we never left. Watching the presidential debates.
Huh.
Got some Mickey D's. Mmm. Good French fries.
Yeah, they're all right.
Now, I ordered a large French fry, a double quarter pounder with cheese and bacon, and I had them remove the ketchup, the mustard, and I had them add extra cheese and extra bacon. We're all going to put some sauce on it. Mm-hmm.
So what's his I want to hear what his political commentary is about the debates.
Maybe he'll talk about it, but he's stuffing his face with French fries right now.
Tasty. And the sauce I chose for my double bacon quarter pounder with extra bacon, extra cheese, no ketchup, and no mustard. But them onions and all that extra bacon and extra cheese are on point, my dudes and dudettes. Extra cheese and extra bacon.
Do
I would have opted
that.
out to put an extra patty on there, but DoorDash did not give me the option.
They were trying to save you the cholesterol.
So we're going to hit this burger with some mayonnaise.
In spite of Kamala winning, the TYT peeps seemed pretty depressed about it in their post-debate analysis. What is going on over there?
I don't know. Like, what exactly are they depressed about? I didn't hear it, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I just sent you something.
All right, I'll grab it.
I think this will be a tasty burger.
You think it'll
hit that
be?
mayonnaise with some tangy barbecue sauce.
Sauce.
Mmm.
Is he gonna slurp the sauce that doesn't come out of the cup? Is he just gonna like slurp it out? Yep, there it is. Yep.
Yum.
Hey.
So there's our burger. Stacked like that. But it ain't done just yet. We're going to stack some French fries on top of it. The barbecue bacon French fry quarter pounder. Double edition.
That's most definitely what's up.
Tastes so good, put your taste buds in submission. Because we on a mission. We hangry. Hangry. Playing with some underage boobies and going to Mickey D's. Yes, please. Stacking the French fries up. Got that extra cheese. Swallow it down with ease. McDonald's fries are so good, especially when they're fresh. So there it is. There's this.
I'm old enough to remember before the switch to vegetable oil when they were actually using lard to fry McDonald's fries, and they were so much better. It was unbelievable. Yeah.
A behemoth of a monster, YouTube. We got the French fries on there. I'm going to slap the top bun on there. Beep, just like that. The bun's looking squishy, man. All right.
It was 1990. Because there was this big push that plant-based fats were just like inherently more healthy. So a lot of restaurants stopped doing the lard fried.
Like there was so
fries.
much goddamn cheese on this burger, you could see it on the
Right. It's like a picture with like margarine and shit. Yeah, for sure.
It's like
I
some.
Yeah. I sent you another one too.
All right.
It's also good.
Inside box, dude. That's a lot of cheese, son. You told McDonald's you want the extra cheese, they'll give you the extra cheese. If you like the fast food reviews, subscribe for more. What you thinking, YouTube? Does this look? Oh shit! Now I'm dripping all over the place. Snackalicious, yeah, I do.
It
got a little bit on my
does
desk,
look
but
fucking good,
It's
actually.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I
eat
prefer
it.
to eat my fries on the side. The only exception to that is Fat Shack, where they like put a bunch of side dishes on your sandwich, but it's like the gimmick. But they have the like bread to accommodate all that extra shit. A McDonald's hamburger bun isn't made to shove a bunch of fries into the sandwich.
that's all right, cuz they gave us napkins. All right, so let's grab a bite for the hell of it. Waste no games, no time. Go. Yeah, this burger's gonna be a little messy, but that's all right.
That's all right. That's all right. That's okay.
That's a good burger, YouTube. McDonald's, they changed their beef, and it's for the better.
How did they change it? It tastes exact. I mean, I had McDonald's maybe like a month ago. Tasted exactly the same as it always has. I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what McDonald's did to change their beef.
Nothing.
But it good.
It's not. It's probably some of the worst beef.
100. Okay, hang on. Over on Twitter, 191,000 likes on a video saying Trump's neck pussy is crazy tonight.
Yeah,
And
I saw
zoom
that
in.
one. I saw that.
Holy shit. Holy shit, dude.
You too? That's a good burger. That tastes like America. Right now I'm watching the presidential debate between...
Are you? It doesn't seem like you're watching it.
Kamala Harris and Trump. And all I gotta say is, I'm not gonna tell you who to vote for, but you can vote whoever you want to vote for.
Of course.
That's a cut on my face. Mm. Mm. That burger is swinging, son.
Who's going to take us home to 50% of the goal? We're at 45.
Yeah, what do we
So
need to get to 50?
Yeah, I don't eat McDonald's too often.
What are you going to offer
My
up?
guys, my gals, my gallerinos, my non-binaries of epicness. This is my last appearance on DP for like 4 weeks. For like 4 weeks. You want to tickle my nipples?
Your tipples?
Do you want to cut my grundle? I'm really drunk right now. Actually, I'm pretty fucking tossed.
Yeah.
Thrill me, wild me, fucking woo me. You fucking miscreant. Pieces of shit.
But I was craving a bacon cheeseburger, you know? And I gotta eat. I'm working on getting a new cell phone.
He's working on it.
I'm working on it. And then I'll be getting that wand. I don't need to get that wand done for the fan. But I'm going through a lot of stressful times right now. Dealing with, my shit. But it is what it is.
But I digress.
Now, opting for the ketchup and mustard to be removed and replacing it with mayonnaise and tangy barbecue sauce. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm stacking it with french fries and adding extra cheese and extra bacon. Stop it.
Stop it.
Set that down for a second. Grab me a fresh napkin. Now, I did get a large Coke to go with the french fries. And McDonald's soda pop just hits differently, dude. 1 second. Oh, that's good. McDonald's Coca-Cola tastes sweeter than...
They pump more of the syrup in. Like when you have like a fountain drink, you can control your syrup to water ratio. And
True.
Yeah, they just do a higher ratio than if you bought a can of Coke from the store.
Fast food restaurants out there, but I tell you what. Ba-da-ba-ba, not a sponsor.
Sounds like might be
Trump brought up. I can't believe that Trump brought up fucking like Haitians eating cat thing like in the debate. Like it was going to be a
more
good
than once.
thing. Yeah, more than once. Like that was going to be a good thing. Like Americans are like, we hate Haitians actually, and we don't want our kitties to be eaten. Wow, like you're not beating the weird allegations with this one.
And French fries. Show the logo, as Ken Domick famously once said. Oh yeah, I'm getting the fast food sweats already, man. That's what's up.
Meat sweats.
Hold on
Meat
to this
sweat.
napkin situation because we're gonna need it.
Oh, Penny, you hear Mama? Oh.
What you thinking, YouTube? I'm gonna hold this underneath the thing so I don't drip all over the place. Look at that sexiness. I would definitely order this again from McDonald's. Overall, I'm saying I'm very satisfied with my order. Mm. Mm. That just tastes like gluttony.
It tastes like gluttony.
I can't say I'm the biggest fan of ketchup on my burgers, but...
What?
Unless I'm in the mood for it, at least. I'll just finish that off here in a second. Anyways, YouTube, I appreciate y'all watching the fast food review. Catch you later.
He didn't even... He ended the video before he even finished his word. Oh, damn. I wanted to watch these other videos, but I wanted to wait till he comes back. Please like the stream. But... Era. Yeah. Man. So what did you guys think of the debate overall? What's your takeaways from the debate? Yeah, it seemed pretty dominant. I guess I'm just gonna play these videos because I don't know when he's coming back.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
They're eating
of the people that live there.
All right.
When Tulsi Gabbard, this is an oldie but a goodie, just absolutely demolished Kamala Harris. And remember, then Joe Biden, and obviously he wasn't in charge of his own faculties even then, he looked at this clip and said, okay, we're going to just basically push Tulsi out of the party, but we're going to keep Kamala. But this was one of many moments where she got mangled, but this is probably the best thing. And, you know, I know you've likely seen that clip before, but even watching it now, post Tulsi not only leaving, I mean, in essence, being kicked out of the Democrat Party, now helping Trump on the campaign, it just shows you everything you need to know. Like, which one of those two people is someone who you think would be a more thoughtful, interesting leader? It's so obviously Tulsi that it's basically ridiculous. Mostly just a controlled Donald Trump focusing on policy and what he will do and talking about, oh, and I'm bringing in Democrats like RFK Jr. and Tulsi. Like, that is the way you win this thing.
All right.
Yeah, amazing political analysis by Dave fucking Rubin. Wow. But brains in recovery mode from so many high-level ideas. Wow, Dave Rubin.
Yeah, his stand-up comedy is so atrocious.
Yeah.
So I think
dumb.
I think we'll wrap it up. I think.
Did you play both of the ones that I?
Yeah, I did.
Sent?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool.
I wasn't sure when you were coming back, and I was just kind of sitting here like, so.
No, that's fair. Like, memory was just coming home on her motorcycle. I had to do that whole thing. Yeah, I mean, like, it's cool. Overall, how are you feeling about America?
Oh God, I don't know. America. Like, I live
America.
in it's fine. Like, I'm okay.
Sure. I mean, like, most of the time when somebody asks me, because I do these tours with, like, people from England all the time, right? And they're like, well, how do you feel about how things are going in your country? I always say the same thing. I'm like,
that's fine.
They're fine. It's okay. You know? I'm like, oh, but blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, kind of used to how terrible things can be. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's like a school shooting happens. I don't even blink an eye anymore. I'm like, oh yeah. Again. That's usually what I think.
Oh. Yeah, I look to see if it's like, is it anywhere near people that I know? No? That sucks. But you just get by. You just get by, and you hope that everybody, like for the most part, is okay.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'll see you guys next time.
DP fam, I'm gone for 4 weeks. I love you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out and being so welcoming to me and such wonderful, sweet boys and goyles and people of non-determined gender. I think you're amazing. I love you so much. I'll see you when I get back.
Good night, everybody.